Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Ring Nex Stadium here in Hill City, Kansas. We have a great game in store for you tonight, Tate.
Yep, Hill City Ring Nex in their home field taking on the Trego Golden Eagles, a fellow Mid-Continent League matchup, but it's not just Mid-Continent League. This is playoff football. We're in the sectionals week of playoffs here at 8-man Division I.
Absolutely, and winner of this game goes on to the next round in the sub-states, and found out tonight that both whoever wins tonight, Hill City or Trego, they're going to host next week's game. So there's a lot at stake tonight, and we will go a little bit more in depth about the previous game this year between these two teams. And look, these teams are combined 19-1 this season, and they both have great offenses and defenses, and it's just going to be a great game. So we've got coach interviews coming up with both of the Trego and the Hill City head coaches. That's going to be coming up here shortly. Tate and I will go in a little bit more in depth about the numbers and the X's and O's of this ball game tonight. So you are watching the Nex-Tech Game Time pregame show.
A special thanks to our Hill City Ringneck Game Time boosters, Hill City Pharmacy, Elliott Plumbing, Heating and Air Conditioning, and First State Bank. These proud supporters stand behind the Hill City students and athletes. Go Fight Win from Outdoor Bank of Hill City, Piper Service, Midwest Contractors, and Hair Studio Salon and Spa. Good luck, Ringneck football, as you battle your way through the postseason. A special thanks to our Trego Golden Eagle Game Time boosters, Waukeeny Ready Mix, Outdoor Bank of Waukeeny, Shiloh Vineyards, and Sheer Designs. These proud supporters stand behind the Waukeeny students and athletes. Go Fight Win from Solutions North Bank of Waukeeny, Day Motorsports, and Nutrient Ag Solutions of Waukeeny. They're rooting for the Trego Golden Eagles as they battle their way through the postseason. Good luck, Eagles!
That's what we talk to them about every day, about, especially on defensive practice days, that you got to, nobody's just going to say I quit, but they're going to quit running as hard because somebody's will's got to go eventually, you know what I mean? And you have to keep playing hard, and you have to keep being physical and keep running that ball and make sure that there's 80 on that side of the ball that are making them feel you every time. And offensively too, we talked to them about, hey, they got to feel you. They got to feel you when you're lead blocking. They got to feel you when you come off the line of scrimmage, and you try to, and eventually you try to wear people down. And so that is what we're trying to do.
Yeah. Ashenbrenner really stepped up in that game too.
Yeah, Jared's a stud. Jared's going to be a beast. He's fast, and you can't teach fast, you can't teach speed. It just happens to have it, and I'm blessed that he's on my team. Yeah, but fundamentally on defense, Jared's so much better. I mean, every week Jared understands he's never put his hand on the ground in his life, playing defense, and now we got him, putting his hand on the ground and having a hat read and what's this guy doing, so you can react off what he's doing, you know what I mean, and then just be fast after that. And, he's gotten so much better at it every week. He's so coachable. He listens, and it truly helps having Aaron Sampson on the other side, because Aaron Sampson's talking to him 24/7. He's talking to him all the time about what are you seeing, what are you doing, how do you react to that kind of stuff. And so it's nice having that leadership of Aaron on the other side, and then Jared just with his athletic ability and his will to win.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this week.
Okay.
Hill City.
Yes.
God, you guys, they're nothing new for you. You see them all the time.
Yeah.
You beat him the first game of the year, but coming up to that, the last couple of years, they've kind of had your number.
Boy, a lot of years.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I told a coach a couple of weeks ago that I don't want to see them or Wichita County again, but at the same time, I do want to see them in Wichita County, because that means we're winning. Yeah, and Hill City's always plays us so well. It doesn't matter what year it is, who's supposed to be hurt, they always show up and play really well against us. And I expect the same thing tomorrow. It's just, and again, our kids know each other. They know each other too well nowadays. It's, there's social media stuff going on all the time that I don't even want to know about, you know what I mean? But yeah, so we know them well, they know us well, and it's been a rivalry. We talked every day this summer about Hill City, because there was our week 1 game, and we knew there was a nemesis, beat us last year, that finished our season, and So we talked Hill City and booed Hill City every day, every day this summer, and tried firing them up about Hill City. So yeah, it's a rivalry. It's true.
Is it harder going in against a team that you know that well, as opposed to a team that you don't know as well?
No.
Do you try to change things up, or is it?
No. We just gotta win mismatches. It's just the way it is, and we're not going to change a lot of who we are because I think we're doing things well, and we just have to beat one-on-ones. We just have to win mismatches, or win our matches, one-on-one matches, because there's not a lot of mismatches. So we got to win our one-on-one matches. If we win our battles, we can win the war. It's kind of what we've been talking this week. And no, I'd much prefer to play somebody. Not that it's Hill City. I wish it was somebody other than Hill City, because Hill City's so good and they play so well. But I'd much rather play somebody I knew. That was the scary part about last week going into Cuyahoga County. I'm watching them on film. I don't know how good those other teams are. You think, oh man, how good is that team? And then you question yourself on what you're doing. Do I have to make adjustments? Do we have to do a lot of changes? So I'd much rather play somebody that I know their common opponents, they know our common opponents. So yeah, I like that part of it, but I don't like the fact that it's Hill City as good as they are.
Yeah. So, going into this game, I mean, it's kind of the last question. What do you guys have to do right? What are the matches that you have to win?
All of them, be honest with you, because I think we match up good everywhere. I don't think my receivers are going to have to win their matches against their good corners and their good secondary guys. My offensive line are going to have to be able to block their defensive line, who's really, really good. Their linebackers who are really, really good. We're going to have to stay on blocks because they come off blocks better than anybody we've seen. And truly, we can't have turnovers. I mean, I always say that and always think that's not really but it is so important, because Hill City's going to take advantage of every turnover you give them. That's what's happened the last couple of weeks on the films we have. Somebody moves the ball and then all of a sudden they turn the football over, or they put the football on the ground and now it's 3rd down and 12 instead of 3rd down and 3, and you just can't get yourself in that situation. So we have to be 100% focused, completely focused, both sides of the football. It doesn't matter which one it is. And again, we have to win those matchups. We have to win our one-on-ones in order to have success, and it'll be a challenge. It'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Played really good defense, maybe our best defensive game of the year against Oxford. Shut their run game down and forced them to get a little bit out of their element, pass the ball a little bit, which probably worked in our favor, and played a really good game there. So hoping to continue the momentum and into this week.
Okay. The last game of the regular season, we had you guys, and you said that you finally felt like you guys were back to 100% as far as kids healthy and stuff like that. Did you get through these last 2 games pretty well too? Yeah,
we have. We haven't had anybody not be able to suit up for us now for about a month, which is good. I mean, this is the time of the year you want to be healthy. So right now we've got bumps and bruises, kind of like everybody else. But as far as injuries, we don't have any of those. We've got kids with nicks and bumps and bruises, but we'll be all right.
Okay. When you look at those last 2 games, do you wish? I mean, like both of them, you pretty much finished them at half. You had Oxford 44-0 going into half. Mm-hmm. Same with lacrosse. Do you wish you would have gone a little deeper with them just to see how you guys reacted and stuff, or are you pretty content with the way that went?
I like finishing the game early if possible. This late in the year, and one of those reasons is for injuries. I'd hate to prolong a game and then get a critical kid injured in a time where we don't want that to happen. So we've been battle tested. We've been in games with Trego in the beginning of the year, and we've played really good teams. I mean, Oberlin's only lost 2 games. Right. Oxford's only lost 2 games. Each of those teams, one of those losses was to us. So Trego hasn't lost a game. We've played good teams. I'm not worried about how we'll react when we play good teams because we've been there. And given the opportunity, I'd like to end the game quick, just not have to worry about injuries.
Sure, I understand that. All right, so let's look at this week. This is one of the same questions I asked, Coach Haxton. You know Trego really well. You got beat by him at the beginning of the year, but you've had their number for the last 3 years. Are you glad to play somebody like that, or would you rather see somebody that's kind of new to you?
That's a great question. We talked about this a little bit ago. I said there's no team you want to see right now because everybody left is good. But given the opportunity, just because of the situation of us losing earlier in the season, I feel like we got something to prove. So if I had to pick a team, I'd say Trego, just because I feel like we've got something to prove. Not to take anything away against Trego. I think they're as good as anybody out there right now. But we've got something to prove, and it's a good matchup for us.
So, with you saying that, are you almost kind of glad you lost? I mean, you never want to lose a football.
Sure.
But are you almost kind of glad that first game went the way it did, so you can kind of go into this game with a chip on your shoulder?
You know, if it means losing early and we don't have to lose at the end of the year, yeah, I'll take that. Because it doesn't matter if you win the first one but you lose the last one, because your season's over with the last loss. There's only one team at the end of the year that wins them all, and if losing the first one's what it takes, I'll take it.
Okay. We were talking about before I hit the record button, matchups. How do you guys feel that you match up against a Waukeenie school?
Man, we're so similar. I feel like Waukeenie and us, what our strengths are, what our weaknesses are so similar. So matchup-wise, I don't know that matters so much because we're so similar, and we know each other so well. We've played Waukeenie more than any team I can think of in my tenure here at Hill City, and I think Waukeenie would probably say the same. They probably played us more than any team because routinely we play them in the regular season, and then, 50% of the time we meet up in the playoffs too. So it's not uncommon to play them twice a year. So if there's a team that we know well, it's Waukeenie, and they know us equally as well. So, yeah, we match up extremely similar.
Kind of the last question. What do you have to do to continue on?
What I think is going to come down to is discipline, because Waukeenie's such a good team, and when we played them the first time, they were so disciplined. They didn't beat themselves. They did everything to put themselves in a good position to win the game, and credit to them, they did. They earned it. If we're going to beat them this time around, we can't beat ourselves. We can't turn the ball over. We threw a pick six there in the first game. We can't do that type of stuff. We got to take care of the ball, not beat ourselves, and then play opportunistic football, because they're a good coached and disciplined team, and we got to be on our best to beat them.
A special thanks to our Trego Golden Eagle Game Time Boosters, Waukeenie Animal Hospital, Trego Recreation Commission, and Pathway Ag of Waukeenie. These proud supporters stand behind the Waukeenie students and athletes. Go Fight Win from Prairie Rose Inn and Rosie's Bar and Grill, First Federal Bank, a branch of Lions Federal Bank, and Professional Fire Equipment, longtime supporter of Nex-Tech Game Time. Good luck to the Eagles as you battle your way through the postseason. A special thanks to our Hill City Ringneck Game Time Boosters, Weller's Tax and Accounting Service, Solutions North Bank of Hill City, and Grand County Recreation. These proud supporters stand behind the Hill City students and athletes. Go Fight Win from Keith Spraying Service, Elin Title Company, and Professional Fire Equipment, longtime booster of Nex-Tech Game Time. These sponsors are cheering on the Ringneck football team as they battle their way through the postseason.
Welcome back to the Nex-Tech Game Time pregame show. Steve Stoltz alongside Tate Reynolds. And tonight, Tate, I think you could safely say this is the biggest game in Western Kansas. You've got the number one ranked Trego Golden Eagles coming into this ball game at 10-0, taking on the number 3 Hill City Ringnecks, who come into this ball game 9-1 in this 8-man Division I sectional playoff game. The winner of this game, they move on to the sub-state, and the winner of this game also hosts the next game. Tate, it's safe to say this is a week 1 rematch, but with much higher stakes.
Yeah, this is playoff football here in Hill City tonight, and both of these teams meet each other every single year as they're a part of the Mid-Continent League. And like you said, this was the first game of the year here in Hill City. It was Hill City versus Trego. And Trego surprised everybody and beat Hill City by 10, 30-20. And that was kind of a surprising thing. That's when people started to realize, Trego, they might be the real deal. And they've proved this season, being undefeated at 10-0, that they are the real deal. Hill City coming in with just that one loss. They've won every single one since then. And now we are here in playoff football back in Hill City for the rematch.
Trego comes in at 10-0. first time in school history. The last time they won 10 games in a season was back in 2002 when they finished the season at 10-2. So let's focus a little bit here on the visiting team, the Trego Golden Eagles. Last week, Kiowa County, they were able to contain Jack Connis in the first half, but Jack broke through in the second half and dominated the game, and the Golden Eagles won handily last week, 64-18. Also in that win, Ashton Wynn, he scored 4 touchdowns in that game. So, we talked last week about we call them the dynamic duo there in Trego with Jack Connis and Ashton Wynn. When you pair these two guys together, Connis on the ground, Wynn splitting reps or pulling outside, what challenges does that pose for a defense?
We talked about it last week a little bit, and mainly, you had to shut down one of their players. You had to shut down either Wynn or Connis, and last week in the first half, Kiowa County did just that. They held Connis to just under 50 yards, and then all of a sudden the second half comes around, and boom, Connis, 2 plays and a touchdown right then off the bat. And so Kiowa County, they tried their hardest to stop one of them, but as a defense of Hill City, it's going to be a feat. There's multiple playmakers for the Golden Eagles that you kind of have to focus on, but you got to make sure you got to shut out 1 or 2 of them to be successful, and we'll see what the Ringnecks can do on defense tonight.
So I know, Tate, that you have did your homework and got some comparison stats and so forth, and let's talk about Trego a little bit and kind of the season that they've had.
Yeah, so like I said a little bit ago, Trego's 10-0 on the season. It's one of the last perfect teams left in 8-man Division I. The only one being is South Central, who's one of the teams that maybe one of these teams will play next week. So let's go through Hill City's identity first of all. Trego prides itself. They are a very tough team. They are a tackling defense, excellent, aggressive, and ground-heavy attack that is known to wear those teams down. They have multiple two-way stars, and they're mainly seniors that give this 10-0 record so far. So let's talk about that offense. Quarterback senior Ashton Wynn, the quarterback, he's 72 for 121 passing throughout the year, just under 60% at 59%. He averages 13.4 yards per completion and also has 96.6 passing yards a game. He's thrown for 15 touchdowns, but he's also thrown 5 interceptions. But that's just talking about his passing. When it comes to the rushing, he has 95 carries, 629 yards, averages 6.6 yards a carry, 62.9 rushing yards a game with 17 rushing touchdowns on top of those 15 passing touchdowns. He's a very steady passer and a decisive runner, and he's kind of the motor of this offense. When you talk about the running back, Jack Connis, who we mentioned a little bit ago, only a junior, he's got 151 carries for 1,262 yards. He's averaging 8.5 yards per carry, 126 rushing yards a game, and 24 total touchdowns. And he's also the team's most targeted passer with 28 receptions and 153 yards and a touchdown through the air. But when you're talking about the other receivers, the senior number 7, Aaron Sampson, 22 receptions for 322 yards. He averages just over a first down every catch for 14.6 yards and also 4 touchdowns on the year. 2 freshmen we're going to talk about. One of them is number 1, Vladen Crawford, 22 catches, 199 yards. He averages 9 yards a catch and also has 6 touchdowns. And the other freshman I'm talking about is number 21, Jared Aschenbrenner. He only has 8 receptions for 177 yards, but if you tally that up, that's 22 yards a catch. He's only got 1 touchdown on the year, and he adds 169 rushing yards. He's a guy that had an excellent game last week against Kiowa County, and they're definitely going to want to keep that yardage going. Ashton Wynn is a leading total yards player with 1,600 yards. He averages a total of 160 yards a game, and Jack Thomas with 1,400 total yards, 141 yards a game, and then Aschenbrenner with 38.4. If we quickly go through the defense, senior Cass Smith is the anchor as the linebacker on the crew. He's 141 tackles, just over 14 tackles a game, and also he's one of the highest volume tacklers in the state with 14 tackles for loss. And then once again, Ashton Wynn on defense, 130 tackles. He averages 13 per game as well. So when you talk about the storylines for Trego, their undefeated season it's meeting its toughest test. Got to replay one of their Mid-Continent League rivals, and we'll see what they can do against Hill City's explosive offense, which we'll talk about here in just a sec. Another thing is Connis and Wynn, the rushing duo against Hill City's defense. It's going to be a tough battle on both sides. And so can the Golden Eagles continue their run and break into the sub-state round for the first time? We'll find out.
Tate, tell me, why do you feel, or why is this Trego Golden Eagle defense so effective? What makes them so effective?
Well, first off, I think that they just play excellent football altogether. It's a whole one team, and they do a good job taking the ball away. They've had several takeaways as a defensive core throughout the year, and that's one of the big things is the turnover battle in the game of football. And Trego tends to win that battle just about every game. And but like I said, Hill City, they can protect the football, and that's what they're going to have to do tonight against this Trego defense because, they're going to come out, they're going to try to rip the ball out of your hands, and they're going to try to force Balthazar, the quarterback for Hill City, to make mistakes. But we'll see if Hill City can avoid letting those happen.
Yeah, turnovers may very well be a big story tonight because Trego comes in at plus 16 in the turnover ratio, having given up the ball 9 times this year offensively, but their defense has 25 takeaways. Hill City is a plus 13 with 13 offensive turnovers, but their defense has forced 26 turnovers this year. So that could very well be a story. Coach Paxton has had this team playing at a very high level this year. So when we come back, we will talk about the Hill City Ringnecks as we prepare for this sectional clash between Hill City and Trego on the Nex-Tech Game Time pregame show.
A special thanks to our Hill City Ringneck Game Time boosters, Hill City Pharmacy, Elliott Plumbing, Heating and Air Conditioning, and First State Bank. These proud supporters stand behind the Hill City students and athletes. Go Fight Win from Outdoor Bank of Hill City, Piper Service, Midwest Contractors, and Hair Studio Salon and Spa. Good luck, Ringneck football, as you battle your way through the postseason. A special thanks to our Trego Golden Eagle Game Time boosters, Waukeeny Ready Mix, Outdoor Bank of Waukeeny, Shiloh Vineyards, and Sheer Designs. These proud supporters stand behind the Waukeeny students and athletes. Go Fight Win from Solutions North Bank of Waukeeny, Day Motorsports, and Nutrient Ag Solutions of Waukeeny. They're rooting for the Trego Golden Eagles as they battle their way through the postseason. Good luck, Eagles! A special thanks to our Trego Golden Eagle Game Time boosters, Waukeeny Animal Hospital, Trego Recreation Commission, and Pathway Ag of Waukeeny. These proud supporters stand behind the Waukeeny students and athletes. Go Fight Win from Prairie Rose Inn and Rosie's Bar and Grill, First Federal Bank, a branch of Lions Federal Bank, and Professional Fire Equipment, longtime supporter of Nex-Tech Game Time. Good luck to the Eagles as you battle your way through the postseason. A special thanks to our Hill City Ringneck Game Time boosters, Weller's Tax and Accounting Service, Solutions North Bank of Hill City, and Grand County Recreation. These proud supporters stand behind the Hill City students and athletes. Go Fight Win from Keith Spraying Service, Elin Title Company, and Professional Fire Equipment, longtime booster of Nex-Tech Game Time. These sponsors are cheering on the Ringneck football team as they battle their way through the postseason.
Welcome back to Ringneck Stadium here in Hill City. And Tate, let's quickly go over the Hill City Ringnecks. They are ranked number 3 in the state, 9-1. We all know who that one loss came to. This is their 4th straight home game, and in that stretch, Tate, that 3-game winning streak at home, they've held their opponents to just 8 points. And in fact, they blew out Oxford last week 50-0. And while that's all fine and dandy, I guarantee you last week's game is behind the Ringnecks because there's one single game this year that Hill City has not forgotten about.
Yeah, it's definitely the first game of the year where it was a 30-20 battle back here in Hill City against Trego, where Trego kind of put some people on notice, letting them know they're the team that they wanted to be. But Hill City's not looking at that game. They're looking at tonight's game, that's for sure, as they're here on their home turf for playoff action in the sectionals.
Absolutely. The loss by Hill City last week snapped a 12-game winning streak against the Golden Eagles. So we're going to be having the coin toss here in a minute. So, but Tate, Hill City also has their own version of the dynamic duo in Tate Balthazar and Tyler Ashbaugh. How tough is it to defend these two?
Well, it's the same as if you're looking at Trego. You know, you have these two players. One of them has to be shut out of the game if you're going to want to compete. And that's all there is to it. You know, Balthazar, he's having an excellent season. He's got, 2,100 total yards on the year, having an excellent season. Ashbaugh, on the other hand, he's having a great year with 989 yards on the ground. So you got to make sure one of those players doesn't perform to the level they have all year long. So it's kind of a game plan on both sides, kind of, I feel like, is the same for both coaches, Coach Haxton and Coach Dabian. So we'll see which one kind of ends up on the upper hand.
You got some homework done over there on the Hill City side as well, Tate.
Yes, I do. I got plenty of it, I'll tell you that. Let's go over the team of Hill City real quick, as I believe we are getting ready to do the national anthem. So actually we might
go ahead and take a break here.
We'll go ahead and take a break.
We're going to go ahead and take a quick break as the national anthem is being played.
At this time, please.
So you are watching Nex-Tech Game Time, the pregame show. Kickoff coming up next.
Nex-Tech Wireless has been offering superior coverage to Kansans for close to 20 years. My, how things have changed, bringing us to modern technology we trust and depend on. Rain or shine, wind or snow, we'll be there because we live here too. We're investing in our communities and connecting Kansans. It's not a gimmick, it's our guarantee.
No matter who you are, the Hayes Rec Commission is for you. There's leisure programs for all ages. There's a wellness center that works for anyone at any level. Youth and adult sports, aquatics, and great facilities for any event. Go to hayesrec.org to see the list of activities and sign up. Here are some of the upcoming activities.
We're still having fun. Hayes Rec's the one. We are still the one.
Welcome back to Ringneck Stadium, and as we continue our pregame coverage of the battle tonight between the Hill City Ringnecks and the visiting Trego Golden Eagles. Tate, you got some a little bit more stats for us as we look deep into the side of the game tonight.
Yep, I do. Let's go through the Hill City's team overview first of all. Hill City averages big production through the air and on the ground. They're led by a senior heavy core of playmakers, which we'll get into here in just a sec. They have a lot of speed, misdirection, and a very efficient quarterback play. Let's start off with that quarterback, the senior number 4. That's Tate Balthazar, 51 for 82 through the air, 62% completion rate. He averages 114 yards a game, 18 passing touchdowns with only 3 interceptions on the season, but he's also a major rushing threat. 97 carries, 962 yards, just under 10 yards a carry at 9.9, 96.2 rushing yards a game, and 16 touchdowns on the ground for a total of 2,133 yards on the season, averaging 213 yards a game. When it comes to the running back side, senior Tyler Ashbaugh, number 11, has 115 carries for 989 yards, 8.6 yards a carry, 98.9 rushing yards a game, and 21 touchdowns. But he's also has a little bit of a receiving factor, 10 catches for 222 yards and 2 touchdowns, as he averages 124.2 yards per game. Ryan Budig, another one of those rushing threats, 63 carries for 478 yards, 7.6 yards per carry, and 6 touchdowns. One of the receiving threats, and I would like to say the X factor of tonight's game, is going to be Jackson Smith, a sophomore, as he has 21 receptions, 493 yards, and get this, averaging 23.5 yards a catch. That's production. And 10 receiving touchdowns. He has 70.4 receiving yards per game. Junior Slade War, also 11 receptions, 276 yards, 25 yards a catch with 5 touchdowns.
On defense, Slade Rohr is going to be the motor of the defense, 112 total tackles for 15 tackles for loss. Aiden Hall, the backfield record, 92 tackles for 23 tackles for loss, leading the team, and 9 sacks. And then, of course, you have the middle linebacker, Briggs Bourne, number 23, 93 tackles with 9.3 per game. As I'm on defense, Tate Balthazar, 8 interceptions leading the team. Slade Rohr and Ryan Budig right behind him at 3 interceptions. So with sub-state berth on the line, does Hill City have the experience to take the advantage in a game to this magnitude here on their home field? And I would have to say this might be the most people I've ever seen at this stadium, and I've seen quite a few games here, and it's an excellent atmosphere here for playoff football, Steve.
Yes, and lawn chairs are set up on the other side. Here is the opening kickoff taken at the goal line, and it is a touchback as Trego won the toss, and they deferred to the second half, and the Hill City Ringnecks will begin their first drive of this ball game at their own 15-yard line. Quarterback is Tate Balthazar, I formation. This is a handoff to the left side and tackled after a gain of about 3 yards. That one went to Ryan Budig. And Hill City's going to hurry this one up. They've already got their first several plays called. Shotgun formation for Balthazar. This is a handoff. Breaks out to the left is Ashbaugh. And Tyler gains another 4, call it 5 yards.
Yep, and they're going to keep on going to Ashbaugh on this no-huddle offense, something that Hill City hasn't run a lot of, but they're wanting to keep the tempo up high here early.
So Hill City's trying to start the pace there, but nothing going there for Tate Balthazar as he carries it, and he is actually going to lose about 3 yards on that play, and it's going to bring up 4th down, and let's call it 4 to go early here in the ball game, and 3 and out as Hill City's lining up to punt.
Yeah, this is a huge punt here. First 3 and out of the game. Hill City starts off with the ball. They're going to give the ball back to this dangerous Trego offense.
High punt, and it is fumbled, and I think
Trego got it.
Trego jumped on the ball. That was Ashton Wynn, and almost lost that one, and that was, with 10:46 left to go, that opening drive for Hill City lasted all of 1:14.
Yeah, and it's like Hill City, that 3 and out to start off the game. It's kind of feels like Trego starting off with the ball is how quickly they got the ball, and they're also going to get the ball at half. So we'll see what they can do on their first possession of the game.
Win under center, I formation. Ashton handoff to Connis. Connis breaks a tackle. He's got open running room, and nobody is going to catch him. And no flag on the play. One play, one touchdown from the 24-yard line. That's a 56-yard touchdown run by Jack Connis.
Wow. If you're Trego, that's the way you start a game right there. 56 yards to the house, first play of the game. And, man, Hill City, they want to respond hard, but they need to get these 2-point conversions stopped as well. And if you're on Trego's side of the ball, you got to get these 2-point conversions because in a game like this, these are some of the more important plays of the ball game.
Connis came into this ball game averaging 8.5 yards a carry. That's going to bump up a little bit as he's the lone running back. Win under center, man in formation, in motion, and Connis is going to be tripped up, and the 2-point conversion is no good.
Yep, that's their go-to 2-point conversion guy is Jack Connis. This time they hold him to only 6 points on the drive, so Hill City's going to get the ball back, and they need to do something with it.
6-0, 10:35 left to go in the first quarter. Trego with the lead. We will be back for the kickoff. After this, you're watching the Nex-Tech Game Time.
A special thanks to our Hill City Ringneck Game Time boosters, Hill City Pharmacy, Elliott Plumbing, Heating and Air Conditioning, and First State Bank. These proud supporters stand behind the Hill City students and athletes. Go Fight Win from Outdoor Bank of Hill City, Piper Service, Midwest Contractors, and Hair Studio Salon and Spa. Good luck, Ringneck football, as you battle your way through the postseason.
And a 57, officially a 57-yard touchdown run for Jack Connis on Trego's first possession of the ball game.
A special thanks to our Hill City Ringneck.
They've already had one drive, Tate, and it was a quick 3 and out and a punt.
Yeah, they need to replicate exactly what Trego just did. They need to get points on the board quick as the state's leading touchback kicker throws another touchback past the orange paint. And Hill City's going to once again start the ball at the 15, and that's kind of one of the advantages of having a kicker that hits touchbacks because, you know, you're down at the 15. That's not very good field positioning. So if you get a chance to return the ball, you better get some yards out of it. But this time, Hill City's starting the same place they started the first drive of the game.
I formation. Here is a pitch out. This goes to Budig. Ryan breaks the corner, and he steps out of bounds, but not after he gains, let's call it 7 yards on the play.
Yep, and they get a little production back, which is good. They're putting Budig and Ashbaugh kind of the dual backfield as they're going to go back to the hurry-up offense on the 2nd down and 4.
Handoff goes to the left. Budig again gets the call, and he is stuffed right at the – they may get a 1 on that as a number of Golden Eagles were in there, including Ashton Wynn and Weston Winholtz in there on the stop.
Yep, no surprise. Hill City's going back to this quick offense. This time Ashbaugh is going to be in the backfield. Let's see if Hill City throws something quick or takes it outside.
3rd and long 2. Balthazar is going to keep this, and he is tackled for – they're going to give him forward progress to the original line of scrimmage. Do you punt here again, Tate?
I mean, it's a tough decision. The run game is not there, and you know, that time I think if you're Balthazar, you just got to keep on going to that far side of the field, take your blockers, it's try to get as much as you can instead of cutting back. But, yeah, it's going to be Vincent Zoner back there to punt. Once again here for Hill City, back-to-back punts on 2 possessions.
Here comes the punt, and deep to receive is going to be Ashton Wynn, and it's not going to get close to Ashton as it goes out of bounds at the 29-yard line.
Yep, it's about the same place they started their last drive, and last drive was a quick one. It was a first play touchdown from Jack Connis. Now, if you're Hill City's defense, one thing you're looking at is they're going to give the ball right back to him on this first play, and you have to make sure to contain him at least to 2 yards and no more than that. It's kind of one of those keys if you're playing a team that has so many threats is you got to shut one of them down, and so far right now, they don't know who to shut down. Jack Connis, I would say, is the one, but you know, at any time they can give it to Ashton Wynn and let him do the same thing. So we'll see what happens. If I had to guess, they might pass the ball here on this 1st and 10, being a lone man in the backfield.
So Wynn in shotgun formation going in motion is Aschenbrenner. There's your pass you talked about. It's caught by Aschenbrenner, and he is going to be dragged down by his shirt, but not until he gets finally tackled at the 14-yard line.
2 plays, 2 huge yards on 2 different possessions, and that's just excellent offensive football here by Trego, as that was Aschenbrenner. And now it's a 1st down and 10 all the way at the 14-yard line for the Golden Eagles, and their offense is rolling against this Ringnex defense.
So ball at the 14-yard line. Here's a keeper, and now it's an option pitch out to Connis, and Jack is going to break tackles, and it is a touchdown.
Yep, I think that should have been a 2nd down and 10, but there was a lack of wrapping up. I mean, he broke 5 or 6 tackles, and if you look here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Ringnecks that had a chance at him, and they failed to wrap up. It's going to be a 12-0 ball game. Trego on top, Jack Connis with 2 touchdowns already.
That's a 14-yard touchdown run by Connis. The last time Trego scored just a little bit ago, they failed to convert on the 2-point conversion. So they're going to pass on this one, and it is caught. And it is a completion to Vladen Crawford, number 1, and the 2-point conversion is good. We are 3 minutes into the ball game, and Trego is up 14-0. You're watching Nex-Tech Game Time.
A special thanks to our Trego Golden Eagle Game Time Boosters, Waukeeny Ready Mix, Outdoor Bank of Waukeeny, Shiloh Vineyards, and Sheer Designs. These proud supporters stand behind the Waukene students and athletes. Go Fight Win from Solutions North Bank of Waukene, Day Motorsports, and Nutrient Ag Solutions of Waukene. They're rooting for the Trego Golden Eagles as they battle their way through the postseason. Good luck, Eagles!
14-0, the Golden Eagles with the lead, and they have run a total of 3 plays. 3 plays, 2 touchdowns. Jack Connis, so far, 3 minutes into the ball game, has 73 yards and 2 touchdown rushes.
Man, Jack Connis, he's keeping it rolling. Hill City's got to contain him as they're looking for their 3rd possession of the game. Both of them, the first 2 have ended in 3 and outs, so now Hill City's offense just needs to get something going as they're going to be stuck at the 15-yard line once again after a touchback from Ashton Wynn.
So both coaches had their respective teams pulled over on the sideline. What is Travis Davian telling his team?
Well, they have to play some better defense, I think. I think they have to definitely wrap up, I think, is one crucial part that kind of caused that touchdown by Connis. As now it's going to be a 1st down and 10 from the 15, and we'll see if they can get their offense going.
Balthazar under center. Here's a handoff to the left, and there's a fumble, and it is recovered.
Oh, man.
Fortunately.
That's a lucky break if you're Hill City. I mean, that's a ball that the other team definitely should have had with the way it went. But
yeah, that was Ryan Budig. Picks up 2 yards and recovers his own fumble. That's something we talked about tonight that they really can ill afford. Pressure on Balthazar as his intended receiver, Jackson Smith. The ball was overthrown, and all of a sudden it's 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, Hudson Dynas just caused all that pressure. It was a design screen pass over there to the right side, and too many Golden Eagle defenders got there too quick for Balthazar to be able to get a easy pass off. 3rd down and 8 coming up now. Need the 1st down.
Dropping back to pass and nowhere to go. It is a sack by Jack Connis, and it's going to be a loss of, let's call it 4 yards on that, and it's going to bring up 4th down and 12, and Trego jumping on the sidelines as there is a timeout on the field. And T, we're going to try to keep an eye on other scores going on in the playoffs here in the state of Kansas. A lot of big games going on tonight. Of course, Hayes is at Great Bend tonight. That's a game that a lot of people are watching. And once those scores start coming in, we will let you know. We do have an update. They had an early start tonight at 6 p.m., but southeast of Saline is leading Phillipsburg at the half, 26-6.
Hill City's going to have to punt the ball again here on this 4th down and long, their 3rd consecutive punt. And now they just need to get a stop on defense, as this time they get them off sides on the hard count, so that'll move them up 5 more yards. And I think they're just going to re-punt it from another 5 yards up, but they know that for the future that Trego might jump on an offense later, so Vince's owner is going to punt it back once again to Wynn.
Yeah, Wynn standing in his own 20. It's a punt, a lot better punt this time. Wynn is just going to let it roll, and it takes a ring neck bounce and dies at the 16-yard line. So a good punt there, and Trego is going to have their 3rd possession, and this is their worst field position to start a possession tonight.
Yep, Hill City's back on defense. This is a time to set their feet in the mud and try to get a big stop here. If you're Trego, don't stop what you're doing, because 3 plays and 2 touchdowns so far and only nearly 4 minutes into this game.
Yep, Hill City was with a total of 12 offensive yards in 3 offensive possessions so far. Ashton and Wynn with Connis in the backfield. Wynn dropping back, finds his open receiver on the left side and tackled at the 21. That's a gain of 4, and the receiver there was Vladen Crawford.
Yeah, that's the route that the Golden Eagles like to run. It's that fake in and then cut out, kind of the zig route, I think is what they call it. And we saw that a lot last week against Kiowa County. They ran that quite a few times with Crawford for a touchdown or 2. And so Hill City's got to know that outside contain. But as soon as they start, covering that outside, they're going to try to zig it up the field. So they have to be wary of it. 2nd down and 7. I formation now, probably calling us up the middle. There it is.
And there is your ring neck defense. Gets the fans on their feet. Nice job in there by big Aiden Hall for the stop.
Yep, and we talked a little bit about Aiden Hall in the beginning of the game, as he's the 3rd leading tackler. 23 tackles for loss on the season before that one. Make it 24, as he's kind of the workhorse there on the defensive line, that 3-man defensive line for the Ringnecks. And they're going to need to see a little bit more of that tonight. And maybe he can get that number up kind of closer to 30. But now it's a 3rd down and long for Trego. This is the point of the game where they like to pass the ball and go up the field on the outside.
Loss of 2 on the play. 3rd and 9 now for the Golden Eagles. Wynn is going to tuck it. He's going to run. He's got a broken tackle. He's got open running room, and he's finally going to be knocked out of bounds at the 30-yard line.
It's just one of those things as a dual threat quarterback. There might be one receiver barely open downfield, but if you have space, he's going to take off with it. And that's what Ashton Wynn has done all year long, rushing the football for 95 carries and 629 yards plus that. So he's averaging 6.6 yards a carry, but that average is going up here after that run.
Yeah, that was a 31-yard run by Wynn, who wanted to pass and saw a huge opening up the middle, and he took off. Here's a quick pass over to the right side. This is Vladen Crawford. He is spun down and tackled at the 21-yard line, but not after a pickup of 9.
Yep, like I said a little bit ago, they like to do that outside route. This time the receiver just sat down at the about 6-yard marker and got a little bit more forward progression. Now you have a 2nd down and manageable. And on this point, this is where Trego is going to try to throw the ball maybe towards the end zone. We'll see.
6 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. It's a 14-0 lead for Trego, and Trego has the ball at the ringneck 21. Here is a handoff, and almost broke out of a few tackles, but that's Jack Connis, and finally stopped there by Kobe Keysweater.
Yep, good job by Keysweater, making sure he didn't get any more forward yardage, because we know how Jack Connis runs. He likes to keep the feet moving and get extra yards, but this Hill City defense, they have to know that they can't allow any more yards than they have to. So, but either way, Golden Eagles with a fresh set of downs now at the 17-yard line, as Hill City needs a big stop here in the red zone.
So that was it was a 4-yard pickup to get the first down. Wynn rolling out, and he is smacked hard. Ball is on the field. It is picked up, and this is Aiden Hall all the way for the touchdown.
Wow! Aiden Hall. We talked about him pregame, how we thought maybe he was going to be the X factor. And man, he just returned a long one for a defensive touchdown. And now Hill City, that might be the momentum they need to get back in this game. And they're back to a 1-score game. Wow.
Ashton Wynn was just totally blindsided, and he is a little shaken up on the sideline there. And wow, momentum change galore there as it's a 2-point conversion attempt for Tyler Ashbaugh, and he's going to hand it off, and it's a good 2-point conversion to Tate Balthazar, the handoff. So all of a sudden, things have changed a little bit here. 5:05 left to go in the first quarter, 14-8. Trego with the lead. You're watching Nex-Tech Game Time.
A special thanks to our Hill City Ringneck Game Time boosters, Weller's Tax and Accounting Service, Solutions North Bank of Hill City, and Grand County Recreation. These proud supporters stand behind the Hill City students and athletes, Go Fight Win from Keith Spraying Service, Elin Title Company, and Professional Fire Equipment, longtime booster of Nex-Tech Game Time. These sponsors are cheering on the Ringneck football team as they battle their way through the postseason.
17.
It says 0, but it was. I need to put in yards. It was.
Welcome back to Hill City as all of a sudden the Hill City Ringnecks have found some life.
Yeah, they haven't had a lot going on offense, but man, did Aiden Hall just make up for it with a 63-yard fumble return for a touchdown, his first of the season, and man, he was running as fast as I think he's ever thought he's ran before.
And the kickoff goes out of bounds, and that's going to be a penalty on Hill City.
Yep, and if I'm Trego, I'm taking the yardage and set yourself up in good field. Nope, looks like they're going to re-kick it.
Aiden Hall, I think he's still trying to get some air, get some oxygen from that 63-yard fumble recovery. Ashton Wynn
Trego chooses for a re-kick.
looks like he's out on the field. So, but boy, did he get smacked hard there on that sack.
Yep, good pressure by Hill City to cause that, and that's exactly what they need to try to tilt the momentum towards their side of the field. And now we just need a good kickoff here from Zoner. Get some yardage back after the one that went out of bounds.
Here's the kickoff, and it is taken at the 8-yard line. And not much going there as there comes the Ringneck coverage team.
Yep, and we also have a flag there on the other side of the field. I think he signaled holding.
So if this is holding indeed against Trego, that's going to move him back, and that is the case. And that's going to march him clear back to the 9-yard line.
Puts the ball back on the 9, brings up 1st and 10.
Yep, Hill City's starting to get a little bit of momentum on their side. And now they have Trego inside the 10 for their next drive of the game. A stop here. Hill City with a chance to tie it up and take the lead if they get the ball back. But Trego's offense has been rolling pretty good here in this first quarter.
4:58 still to go here in the first quarter. Here's a handoff to Connis. Connis jumps over a tackler and is finally brought down to the 24.
Wow.
Hey, we got to watch the replay on that one, Tate.
Completely hurdled him. That's something you don't see very often, but in 8-man football, that's a flag, I think. A hurdle in 8-man football is a flag, so that's going to come right back.
Hey, I just learned something new.
Yep.
I had no idea.
I forgot about it because of how awesome it is to see that. Forget about it, but that does come back.
It looks good on the highlight reel, but it's
Let's see.
It's not going to count.
They're picking it up.
Okay.
I was, I don't know, maybe if,
Stick the flag up.
yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that I don't know either, Tate, but the ball's out to the 23-yard line.
So, yeah, the hurdle actually pays off for Connis, so he's going to get the yardage back. It's going to be a 1st down and 10. Now the Ringnecks have to know that dive play has been hurting them all night, and they have to stack the box.
Yeah, that's a 14-yard pickup for Connis. And this will be a keeper and nothing going. And now that defensive front, that big defensive front of Hill City is starting to make things a little bit more difficult as Wynn is tackled for a loss of 2.
Yep, big stop. Kobe Key Sweater on the defensive front. And so far, Hill City's done a good job. They've shut Ashton Wynn down completely, it seems like. A loss of yards here. And now they just got to keep on doing that work. But now you have Trego with a 2nd down and long, maybe a passing situation. One thing the Hill City might struggle on the defensive side, but they have Connis in the backfield.
Wynn under center. Connis by himself in the backfield. He gets the call, and there's a flag on the play.
Yep.
And false start on the Trego Golden Eagles, and that's going to march him back
Hill City's running with the momentum, and now they've caused some offensive miscues from the Golden Eagles. As now it's going to be called a second down, and we'll call her 17 yards now for the Golden Eagles.
For Trego, that's their second penalty of the ball game. Both of them have been 5 yards, and so at second and 17, this kind of changes things up. If I were Hill City, I would imagine this is probably going to be a throw or a pass here. And here, there's a flag clear back at midfield.
Yeah, it's a delay of game this time.
Delay of game called against Trego.
Well, Trego's going the wrong way if you're a Trego fan, and ball's going to be now marked at the 11. And that's going to make 2nd and 22, Tate.
Wow, yep. Trego's offensive miscues, it might hurt them on this possession. They don't want to give the ball back to Hill City with a chance to tie it with a touchdown, but I think they're going to pass the ball, obviously, here on this second down and long. And they do. It's a hit and go.
Wynn is looking for Crawford and just overthrew him.
Yep, we saw them do that outside route a little bit earlier. And this time Ashton Wynn tries to pump fake over there to Crawford and get him up going, but excellent defense there by Tate Balthazar to keep him honest, and Ashton Wynn just overthrows him. So now it's a third down and long.
That sack and fumble that occurred by Ashton Wynn on their last drive, that was his 4th lost fumble of the year. But for Trego, that was their 10th turnover on the season. So 3rd down and 22. Wynn drops back, decides to run, and he is smothered at the 12. And no gain on the play.
Yep, that was Jackson Smith, number 28 there. He was completely pinned out there by the right end, which I believe was Cass Smith. And luckily, Keysweater was there to kind of block the way forward, making Wynn have to cut outside. And that's where Jackson Smith was uncovered, made the stop, and now Trego punts for the first time tonight.
Here comes the punt from Crawford. It's a low driving kick, and it's picked up by Balthazar. Balthazar breaks it out to the left. He's past the 35, past the 40, and inside Golden Eagle territory down to the 37.
Yep, Hill City, they're going to have good field positioning inside Trego territory. So now this is where the momentum's starting to hit and the adrenaline's starting to wear off for Trego. I also do want to mention that tonight Outdoor Bank is donating $100 for each touchdown to each team, and then 2-point conversions as well. So we'll talk about that here in a little bit as well.
Slade Rohr gets his first carry of the night and drove it out of bounds to the 33, and that's going to give him 4 on that carry.
Yeah, but like I said, Outdoor Bank, they're donating $100
yes.
To each school, depending on how many touchdowns. $100 a touchdown, and I think it's $20 for every 2-point conversion, so that's awesome of Outdoor Bank. 2nd down and 6 upcoming.
Yeah, but this is Ashbaugh. Ashbaugh running through some tackles, and he gets down to the 29-yard line after gaining 4, and it brings up a 3rd down and a long 1.
Yep, and Hill City's obviously going to hustle it up. They're going to bring Ryan Budig into the backfield, as it's going to be this I formation here. Maybe a play action.
Well, Balthazar is the leading rusher, but that is a 1st down run, and it's a 1st down for Case Haynes.
Yep, that was actually that was Slade Rohr on the. He's the fullback there, the I formation. Just give it off to him quick, get the 3 yards, and go for a 1st down.
No huddle again for the Hill City Ringnecks, and Tyler Ashbaugh is going to get out to the 18-yard line, and it's going to make it 2nd and 3 from the 17.
Yep, there's a reason why Ashton Wynn has so many fumbles caused, is because he grabs onto that ball, and he did that time, but luckily Ashbaugh keeps a hold of it.
Balthazar dropping back. He's flush out of the pocket. He's got one tackler to break, and he dives for the corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Hill City. What a run by Tate Balthazar. 18-yard rushing touchdown, and who knew?
Yeah.
We've got a minute left to go in the first quarter, and Hill City has tied it with a chance to pull ahead when 15 minutes ago on your watch, it seemed like Hill City was not going to gain any momentum, but here they are trying to go for the lead. It's a handoff and nothing going there for Slade Roar, and that'll keep the ball game tied at 14.
Wow. Yeah, like you said, it was a 3-play, 2-touchdown, 2 drives from Trego to start off the game, but Hill City with a huge defensive play, and now a long run from Tate Balthazar to tie things up here in the first quarter, and now we got the game that we were thinking it would be.
1:04 left to go in the first quarter. We're tied at 14. You're watching the Nex-Tech Game Time.
A special thanks to our Hill City Ringneck Game Time boosters, Hill City Pharmacy, Elliott Plumbing, Heating and Air Conditioning, and First State Bank. These proud supporters stand behind the Hill City students and athletes. Go Fight Win from Outdoor Bank of Hill City, Piper Service, Midwest Contractors, and Hair Studio Salon and Spa. Good luck, Ringneck football, as you battle your way through the postseason.
(14-14) tie here in Hill City. You know, their first 3 drives of this first quarter, Tate, Hill City racked up 12 yards of total offense. And then we had the sack, fumble, and a touchdown return on that fumble. And all of a sudden, it's a totally new ball game.
Yeah, it's a tie ball game, and Hill City's defense has more yards than their offense. I mean, that's just how it is. And here's a big
Ashenbrenner, he gets the return out to the 22-yard line, and with just under a minute left to go in the first quarter, let's see what Coach Pack Haxton has up his sleeve.
Yeah, Hill City's going to try to keep this defensive momentum rolling. Trego, they have to start getting Jack Connis going again, I think, on offense, and Coach Haxton has to know that. And so on this first down and 10 from the 23-yard line, I'm expecting a couple runs from Connis here early in this drive.
So Wen, who got nailed on that sack, is back in the ball game. Hand off to Connis, and nothing going. And guess who? Briggs Bourne in there on the big stop. No gain on the play.
Yep, they sent Bourne, and it worked out in their favor. The big right linebacker there for Hill City, just a sophomore. Now it's gain of maybe half of a yard. And now Hill City's starting to shut down Connis. So now Trego's got to find out which of their stars is going to come through huge on this drive.
At one point, Jack Connis had 3 carries for 76 yards, and he is averaging, he's at 15 yards his last 3 carries. So they've kept him in check until now. Connis gets the call and ankle tackle at the 38-yard line. Big carry by Big Jack Connis.
Yep, 15 yards on that play from Connis. It was a good open field tackle by Ashbaugh as well. So now Connis is trying to get back into the game, but that's going to take us to the end of the first quarter, and we're all tied up here in Hill City.
What a game.
What a heck of a first quarter.
All right, after one, we're tied up at 14. This is a big game. Both teams are combined 19-1. The winner will host the next playoff game next week. But we still have 3 quarters to go. You are watching Nex-Tech Game Time.
A special thanks to our Trego Golden Eagle Game Time boosters, Waukeeny Ready Mix, Outdoor Bank of Waukeeny, Shiloh Vineyards, and Sheer Designs. These proud supporters stand behind the Waukeeny students and athletes. Go Fight Win from Solutions North Bank of Waukeeny, Day Motorsports, and Nutrient Ag Solutions of Waukeeny. They're rooting for the Trego Golden Eagles as they battle their way through the postseason. Good luck, Eagles.
Season doesn't have to be stressful.
Welcome back to Nex Stadium. Is about ready to commence the second quarter here. And Tape before the game, we were talking about there is a huge contingency of obviously Hill City fans. The stands are almost full. On the other side, the visiting stands, they're full as well, but it looks like people lined up to get tickets to a major concert or something. There's tons of lawn chairs out on the track, but
I don't think I've ever seen this many people here at Ring Neck Stadium, and especially lawn chairs on the track. It's a huge showing out here for sectionals.
All righty, Aschenbrenner in motion. It's a pass and over the head of number 7. That is Aaron Sampson. And it looked like Wynn had the time. He just simply overthrew his receiver.
Yep, I think ever since he took that hit there in the first quarter that kind of banged him up just a little bit, I think he wants to hurry up and get the ball out just a little bit quicker to avoid those hits, and that happens sometimes, and then it causes some overthrows or underthrows, and I think that was one of the cases. So now you got a 2nd down and 10. You're only 4 yards away from Hill City territory.
Aaron Sampson, the senior, is the leading receiver coming into this ballgame with 322 yards for the Golden Eagles. Win back to pass, plenty of time, and nice catch. And that is Jack Connis, who gets tackled at the 29-yard line. What a pass, what a catch.
Yeah, that was an excellent pass from Wynn. He put that on a rope right up the middle of the field. But a great catch with 2 defenders right there to try to stop him. And now it's a 1st down and 10, gain of 13.
That was a great coverage on that. On the defensive side for the Ringnecks, it was just a precision pass right where it needed to be. Here's another pass, and it's blocked down. Knocked down over there by Kobe Keysweater, the senior.
Yep, and I think the Ringnecks are starting to kind of figure out what plays are going to come next, which is good if you're a coach, but now Trego's got to try to find that counter to see what they're going to bite on and see if they can get some yardage back here on the 2nd down and 10.
Ball at the 29 of Hill City. Win under center. Do we see Jack Connis here? And it looks like Aiden Hall got a little jumpy, and it's going to be in offsides on the Hill City Ringnecks, and that's going to give Trego 5 free yards.
Yep, it's a good strategy on a 2nd down and 10. You didn't get any yards. Why not try to go for it on a hard count for the first time in the game? So both teams kind of know that the defensive line is going to jump, as both teams have went off sides here. So now 2nd down and 5. It makes it a little bit more manageable for the Golden Eagles.
Aschenbrenner checks out. Coming in is Cass Smith, number 19, and he's going to be in the backfield along with Jack Connis. 2nd and 5, 11:21 left to go here in the second quarter. Connis gets the call. He gets the 1st down and finally gets stopped by a flock of Ringnecks at the 18.
Yep, excellent downfield blocking by the Golden Eagles. They open up that hole at least 5 yards down the field for him to get that 1st down, and now their offense is starting to roll once again inside the 20 into Hill City's red zone.
Gain of 6 on Connis, or for Connis on that play.
Trego's going back to what they've been doing all year long, running the football up the gut, getting yards.
I formation again for the Golden Eagles. Handoff to the right. This goes to Connis, spins out of a tackle and finally brought down, but not before Connis picks up, let's call it 5 yards.
Yep, you get 4 or 5 yards every rush. You're bound for success. As 2 plays and a 1st down every time down the field works well. As Connis is known to get those yardages throughout, averaging 6.6 yards, or 8.4 yards a carry. See what they do here if they give it right back to him, which I would expect they would.
Connis, 5'11", 195-pound junior in the backfield again, and it is a call to Connis. Connis past the 10 and finally brought down close to the 1st down. I think he may be a little short.
Yeah, they're going to call him a 3rd down and very close. And this is the part of the field where they like to run that in and then out route to Vladen Crawford or either Aschenbrenner. And Hill City's got to know that, but you got to make sure that they don't cut it inside, kind of like they did earlier on this drive with that nice catch from Conness.
3rd down and 1. We're down to almost 9.5 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. We're tied at 14. Conness, who else? Breaks it out to the right, jumps over a tackle, touchdown.
Touchdown, Trego.
8-yard touchdown run. That's the 3rd one for Jack Conness tonight.
Yep, having one of those games that every kid wants to have in playoffs. 3 touchdowns and plenty of yards to go with it. And is that 3rd down and 1, why not give it to your guy that averages 8 yards a carry when you're inside the 10-yard line? So now it's a 20-14 ball game. Chance to make it 8 points with these crucial 2-point conversions that we discussed earlier.
Absolutely. Last week, Conness had 229 yards and 5 touchdowns, a career high for him. He's already got 3, and we're not even halfway through the second quarter as Conness just gets the call on the 2-point conversion. Great job by that defense of the Ringnecks. Jack Conness has 11 carries, 128 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
He's already at his average tonight. That's just a great game from Jack so far, as we've seen all season.
20-14, 9:29 left to go in the second quarter. The Trego Golden Eagles respond to the last touchdown from the Ringnecks. We're going to take a timeout. Timeout on the field. You're watching Nex-Tech Game Time.
A special thanks to our Trego Golden Eagle Game Time Boosters, Waukeeny Animal Hospital, Trego Recreation Commission, and Pathway Ag of Waukeeny. These proud supporters stand behind the Waukeeny students and athletes. Go Fight Win from Prairie Rose Inn and Rosie's Bar and Grill, First Federal Bank, a branch of Lions Federal Bank, and Professional Fire Equipment, longtime supporter of Nex-Tech Game Time. Good luck to the Eagles as you battle your way through the postseason.
We are back in Hill City as the Trego Golden Eagles have broken the tie. It's 20-14, 2-point conversion has failed. Occasionally, Tate, the Ringnecks have held Conness in check, but those big, long runs that he has, he's averaging, almost 10 yards a carry in this ball game. That's something that they're going to have to shore up as Wynn kicks it off, and it's kind of funny. The Balthazar and Slade Roar just kind of, I'm sorry, that's Briggs Bourne, just kind of let the ball, they know it's going to go through the back of the end zone.
Yep, he's a state leader in kicking touchbacks, and when you got that on your team, like we mentioned earlier, you leave them at the 15-yard line. That's a long ways to the end zone here for the Ringnecks.
Handoff up the middle. Picks up maybe a yard as that goes to Ashbaugh, number 11, and not much going there.
Yep, Trego's defense just coming up with that stop of only 1 yard. They could do that 3 more times. They'll be sitting good and maybe get the ball back, but this is the point of the game where Hill City's going to try to stretch some things out, whether it be through the air or on the ground. This time it's going to be Budig in the backfield with Balthazar.
As Jackson Smith comes out of the ball game, they're leading a receiver. Here's a screen pass up the middle. He's got open running room and is smacked hard, but he gets out to the 22-yard line, does Slade Roar, and
Roar on the completion.
Balthazar is a little slow getting up off the turf, and I thought maybe there would be a flag back there, but
33 from the 22.
no going. It's 3rd and 3 now.
Yeah, nice little play. Fake it out there to Budig on one side of the field on a screen, throw it out to Roar on the other, get closer to the first down. So here's a rush up the middle.
Yep, Budig gets the call, and he is going to get the first down. He needed 3, got 4, and it's moving the chains time.
Yep, first down, very important there. You don't want to have that 4th down and 3, 4th down and 4 situation on this side of the field, because then you have a decision as a coach. But now, first down and 10 at the 25, 26-yard line as the Ringnecks going to go back to shotgun.
8 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. Here's a keeper by Balthazar, and Balthazar will pick up, let's give him 2 yards on the play as he gets out to the 28-yard line.
Yep, just giving it to let your quarterback do your thing, and now they're going to go back to the I formation under center.
Oh, there's a fumble quarterback exchange there, but good job by Balthazar, and he actually picks up a yard on that.
That's when life gives you lemons, makes some lemonade out of it,
That's
because
right.
that was a broken play as soon as it was snapped. But Balthazar doing a good job picking it up, just diving forward, trying to get as many yards out of it as you can on this 3rd down and long 5.
So Balthazar, almost 10 yards a carry this season, 962 yards, 16 touchdowns, 4 games where he has rushed for at least 100 yards. Here's a keeper by Balthazar, finds an open hole, and is
Just
brought
short.
down at the 35, and he is going to be about a foot short, looks like, Tate.
Yep. That was a nice pull there by the offensive lineman to cut off that left end of Trego. And so now you have this 4th down, and we'll call it inches here. Maybe one of those tush-push situations, but maybe a QB sneak or something, try to get those yardage back, as Trego's only going to have 3 at the line, but they're going to bring the backers up.
Trego almost jumped
I
off
think they
sides, and
did.
they just did. Yep.
Encroachment.
Good job there by Balthazar with the hard count. And then that's going to be a free 1st down after that 5-yard penalty.
Yep, we've seen both teams fall for it, and so they know that it's in the deck of cards tonight. You know, you're going to be able to go on a hard count, but the hard part about that is you have to have your team on the same page, and this time Hill City did. They get an easy 1st down instead of having to try to get that extra two feet.
Trego has had 4 penalties in this ball game for 20 yards, 1 for the Ringnecks. Just under 6 minutes left to go, and
there was just miscommunication.
Yep, Travis Davian said they're going to call timeout and get everybody on the same page. The ball is at midfield. 5:57 left to go in the 2nd quarter. 20-14, Trego with the lead. You're watching Nex-Tech Game Time.
A special thanks to our Hill City Ringneck Game Time boosters, Weller's Tax and Accounting Service, Solutions North Bank of Hill City, and Grand County Recreation. These proud supporters stand behind the Hill City students and athletes. Go Fight Win from Keith Spraying Service, Elin Title Company, and Professional Fire Equipment, longtime booster of Nex-Tech Game Time. These sponsors are cheering on the Ringneck football team as they battle their way through the postseason.
Updated you on some scores in the state of Kansas at the end of 1. Great Bend over Hayes, 7-0. And we will Smith Center over Moundridge, 8-7. That's also at the end of the 1st quarter. Back to live action here. Balthazar dropping back.
Oh,
he is
man.
hit as he threw the ball and
I think he
almost
did.
intercepted. Diving attempt there by Jared Aschenbrenner, and was not able to reel it in.
And that's a scary one if you're the Ringnecks. That one's just up in the air, and it seems like it hangs up there forever. It gives Trego plenty of time to get underneath it, but luckily that was in the one spot that there wasn't any Golden Eagles. So now it's a 2nd down and 10 for midfield.
So incomplete pass for Balthazar I formation. Here come the Ringnecks at the 40. This is a handoff. It goes over to the right side to Budig. Budig is knocked out of bounds. And they're going to mark him out at the 35, pick up a 5.
Yep, 3rd down and 5 coming up now.
So big 3rd down here is Trego will get the ball to start the 2nd half as they won the toss and deferred. So you got to think that the Ringnecks here have got to score on this particular drive. Ashbaugh motion. It's a keeper. Balthazar. He's got open running room. He's got one runner to beat, one tackler to beat, and it is a touchdown, 30-yard touchdown run by Tate Balthazar.
Wow, a 35-yard touchdown from Balthazar. An excellent run. He had blocks all the way forward. Give credit to them, as Trego unable to wrap him up there at the 10-yard line, and that causes another 6 points, and we're all tied back up at 20.
This is like a heavyweight championship match here between two powerful teams. 19-1 between both teams. Here is an end around, and no problem. getting into the end zone. Jackson Smith, number 28, gets the call. And for the first time in this ball game, with 5:36 left to go, Hill City has the lead. It's 22-20 here in Hill City. The fans are on their feet. The band's playing. It's electric atmosphere here in Hill City for playoff football.
Yep, and there has the right to be. Hill City with the lead the first time tonight. You know, after the first 3 offensive plays by Trego, you know, the fans were awfully quiet here in Hill City. But now all of a sudden, all it started was that big 63-yard defensive return from Aiden Hall, and Hill City got the momentum. But, you know, this game's far from over. Both teams have plenty of possessions left to go and lots of defense to play. So we're going to see it's going to be Trego getting the ball back down for the first time in this contest.
Kind of looking at your second quarter stats.
21 backdates for Trego.
As Hill City has run 10 total plays,
18 will kick off for
and
Hill City.
Trego has run 8, but 63 yards of total offense so far in the second quarter for the Hill City Ringnecks.
Yeah, compared to only the 37 of Trego. So that's time of possession there is being won by Hill City here in the second quarter, and I think that's one of the keys is who's going to have the ball longer and keep the other offense off the field.
Yep, and we talked about also turnovers. That's a big, we thought that may be a big factor. Sweep kick up the middle and brought out to the 30-yard line, and that was reeled in there by big Christopher Gum, the junior. And 35-yard line is where Trego is going to set up shop for their 30-yard line.
See now Trego, a touchdown will take the lead back for them, and that's where they're comfortable is up ahead. So see if this offense can get rolling here. 5:33 left in the first half.
Conness gets the call, spins, and was able to pick up 3 yards on that play. And Jack Conness
Number 32 in on the stop.
was able to break a tackle and then get over to the right side to pick up that 3.
Yep, just get 3 yards. Try to keep pushing the ball up the field. Going to your workhorse, Jack Conness. And now Hill City's defense doing a good job containing him so far here in the second quarter. See if they can keep it up.
Most points so far given up by Trego in a game going clear back. Well, the game we did, Tate, against Wichita County.
Yep.
Here's a keeper. This is Ashton Wynn, and he's going to be across the midfield stripe and enough for a first down. They're going to give him 10 yards on that carry.
Yep, once you start sleeping on or focusing on Conness, you start sleeping on Wynn. And so those play action options that Wynn likes to run, he managed to get the first down, and now they're past midfield into Hill City territory.
Ashton Wynn coming into this game averaging 6.6 yards per carry, but he's got 17 touchdowns on the season. And we'll see what Trego does here is they want to kind of wear down that clock to really not give Hill City another offensive possession, as Wynn will get it out to the 35-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 2.
Yep, and if I'm Coach Jackson, that's one thing I'm definitely thinking is try to waste the clock or waste time off the clock, as Hill City only has that one timeout left in this half. So they have a chance to waste it all the way down as far as they can and try to keep the ball out of Hill City's hands, as Trego does get the ball at half after deferring the coin toss.
One thing we didn't talk about last week was Balthazar had the hat trick last week, and we'll tell you about that. Conness gets the call around the right side, only picks up maybe 2 yards on the play, but great job again by that defense of the Ringnecks, and looks like Conness might be shaken up a little bit.
Yep, they're holding Trego to 1 or 2 yards on that play. As long as you keep them under 4 a play, that'd be good for a defensive end. Now you got 3rd down and long, maybe a pass coming up here from the Golden Eagles.
So let's talk about Tate Balthazar last week. He had 2 touchdown passes. He had a rushing touchdown, and he had a receiving touchdown. He scored the trifecta last week, and the touchdown pass was actually from Ashbaugh, It was a double reverse. And we're going to take a timeout here as the ball is spotted at the 34-yard line. When we come back, it'll be 3rd and 7 for the Golden Eagles, down 22-20. You are watching Nex-Tech Game Time.
A special thanks to our Hill City Ringneck Game Time boosters, Hill City Pharmacy, Elliott Plumbing, Heating and Air Conditioning, and First State Bank. These proud supporters stand behind the Hill City students and athletes. Go Fight Win from Outdoor Bank of Hill City, Piper Service, Midwest Contractors, and Hair Studio Salon and Spa. Good luck, Ringneck football, as you battle your way through the postseason.
So Trego's faced with a 3rd and 7. This is a big 3rd and 7 for the Golden Eagles.
A special thanks to our Hill City Ringneck
one of
Game
those
Time
point
boosters.
games where the hard count is maybe coming to effect. So if you're Coach Davian, you got to tell the defense not to jump. And if you're Coach Haxton, and if you're going on it, if you are going on 2, got to have the offense on the same page. They don't. Oh,
It's a pass, and it is complete by Sampson. But, well, they're kind of talking about, they are going to call it a complete pass to the 31-yard line, but it's still 4th down.
Ball placed on the 30, brings up 4th and 3.
So, Aaron Sampson, the leading receiver on the team with 322 yards. That was a tough one, but according to the refs, he was able to reel this in. But 4th and 3 now for the Golden Eagles. What do they have up their sleeve? A quick out and over the hands of the outstretched receiver Jared Aschenbrenner, and that's a turnover on down.
Yep, he had him. He was open for the first down if he reels in the catch, but Wynn just throws it too high for the receiver to catch. 2 minutes and 2 seconds left in the half. Hill City with the ball back. As this possession, I feel like, is going to come down to one of the biggest possessions of the game if you can get points before half and cause Trego to play from down, something they haven't done most of the year.
Smith in motion. Here's a pass. It is complete, and it is to Rohr. Slade Rohr breaks a tackle and is finally brought down to the 27-yard line.
That's a huge play from Hill City. The clock's going to be stopped at 1:24 until they get the first down, as I think he stayed in bounds. As now it's going to start ticking. Excellent throw from Balthazar. Excellent catch from Slade Rohr.
I formation. Here is a handoff to the left. This is Ryan Budig. Ryan will pick up a great yardage there. If he gets 5 of the 10 that he needed. And the most important thing is the clock keeps rolling. Hill City still with a timeout to use here. And obviously Trego is content with just letting the clock roll. There's another offside for the Golden Eagles. Number 5, Hudson Dynas, was the culprit on that. And several times tonight, Tate, this has happened where you give your opponent a free first down.
Yep, and if they're going to keep biting, you might as well do it. I mean, if you have a 2nd down and 4 or 5, try it. You might just get a free first down. And that also stops the clock at 1:14. So now you got Hill City at the 15, no, call it the 16-yard line. Chance for a big play.
Back to pass is Balthazar. He's going to tuck it. He's going to run, cuts it out to the left, and is brought down. Tackle in there was Jared Aschenbrenner. And they give him forward progress to the original line of scrimmage, brings up 2nd and 10.
Yep, clock's going to be rolling at 54 seconds now. They're going to get back to the line, try to get another play off quick.
Handoff. Actually, it's a keeper by Balthazar. He is inside the 5 and down to the 4. It's a pickup of 8 yards on the play.
And a timeout.
Excuse me, he's down to the 9. That's where my math wasn't mathing, Tate. I was like, well, wait a minute. He's down at the 4. No, the ball is at the 9-yard line. 33 seconds left to go. Timeout on the field.
Play resumes. It'll be
And
third and
Hill
2,
City
9.
is faced with a 3rd and 2 at the 9-yard line of the Golden Eagles.
Yep, it's a huge possession here. 33 seconds left in the half for the Ringnecks. If they can, get a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, they're 2 scores ahead, technically, as Trego would be down more than 8 points with Trego getting the ball at half, and I think that's what's going through Coach Dabian's mind. You get a score here, or a total of 8 points on this possession.
Mm-hmm.
You're up by 2 possessions with Trego getting the ball at half, as Trego deferring the coin toss. It's a good call usually to defer it, especially in close games like this, but we'll see if Hill City can put it in the end zone first.
Pitch out to Budig to the left. Has blockers in front of him, and he is brought out of bounds at the, let's call it the 3-yard line. Pick up a 6.
Yep, I'd run it right up the middle. If you don't get it, get back to the, you still have that timeout if you're Coach Dabian as well, so run it right up the middle. If you don't get it, get as close as you can.
27 seconds left to go here in the first half as Hill City trying to add on to a 22-20 lead. Okay, we talked about this is going to be a great ball game, and started out a little slow, but boy, these two teams are trading blows tonight. And hand off to Budig. Budig following his blockers, and he is going to be a yard shy of the first down, and Hill City is trying to hurry up to the ball.
Yep,
they don't 15 seconds.
They don't want to use the timeout. Give it to Balthazar.
Balthazar, he fumbles the ball.
Nope, they're going to say that he was
okay,
stopped.
yep. They called it stop of forward progress, and they called it timeout.
Yep. I'm not sure if it was before the.
That's kind of what I'm wondering.
They're giving them right at the end zone is where they're going to place the ball. So it must have been a fast timeout call.
Wow. 10 seconds to go in the second quarter, and you're right, Tate. I think if that ball was a grass blade closer to the end zone, that would have been a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, it's a football length away from the end zone. So with this 9 seconds, this is maybe one of the bigger plays of the game, even though it is only a foot away from the end zone. You have to put it in here because now Hill City's out of timeouts. You're not going to have enough time to get back to the ball, so you're going to have to put it in on this play here.
So you got a big offensive line for the Ringnecks, and then you got a big defensive line for the Trego Golden Eagles, and which one's going to break here? Balthazar going to keep it himself. He cuts back to the left. Touchdown.
Great decision.
Touchdown.
Great decision. Just, he saw there was a lot of traffic in front of him on the right side, so why not take it where nobody is? I mean, he wasn't going anywhere on the right side, so he takes it back left and gets it in. That's a huge play for the Ringnecks.
With 5 seconds left to go in the second quarter. 2-point conversion. It's a pass attempt. Balthazar, corner of the end zone. Takes it. What a catch by Slade Roar. And that's a 2-point conversion.
Man.
And now Hill City has a 2-possession lead, 30-20, with 5 seconds left to go here in the second quarter.
It couldn't have been thrown any better, and it couldn't have been caught any better. I mean, that was an excellent play. And now they're up 2 possessions, and the score is 30-20. The same score that the first game of the season ended with, but this time the score is reversed as Trego's going to have these 5 seconds left in this first half to go with it, but Hill City's going to kick it right up the middle of the field to keep it in play, so it'll take it to half. Man, what a turnaround here for Hill City in this first half. They were down 14-0 after only 3 offensive plays by Trego, and all of a sudden they're up by 10.
Hill City is 111 yards of total offense here in the second quarter alone. Put 16 points on the board, and Trego with 181 yards of total offense, and Hill City has 100. Well, they have 111 yards here in the second quarter. So Trego is set to kick off the ball here with 5.5 seconds left to go. Trego is receiving Hill City. There's the squib kick, and it's immediately caught and dropped. Is Hudson Dynas.
And there's still a chance here for Trego to get in the end zone. There's still 4.7 on the clock. So, Trego, they have to go for the end zone here, getting the ball after the half as well. So I'm expecting Hill City's defense to kind of back up, but Trego going to try to air one out. But, of course, you have to watch out for, we've seen a 40-plus yard run so far from Connors as well. So we'll see. It's a game of chess here late in this first half.
Absolutely. Vladen Crawford is split left. Back to pass is Wynn.
There's a hold. Yep.
He is throwing a long touchdown.
It's coming back. There's
but
a
it
hold.
is going to come back.
Yep.
That was a hold. And I don't think Crawford knows it yet, but this is coming back.
Yep, it's coming back. Wow.
What a pass, but it's all for naught.
That was an excellent pass from Wynn. And Crawford, he wasn't even looking at it until the ball was about 20 feet away from him, and he was able to make the catch. So now that's going to back him up, and do they get another play?
That's the question. It seems to me the play took a little bit longer than 5 seconds, but
I think they get to replay it.
Yeah. So the ball now back to the 29-yard line, Trego's own 29-yard line.
So it's first and 20.
Just don't let any Golden Eagles behind you if you're Hill City's defense. Trego's going to bring out their fastest players to run outside. So now it's basically an untimed down as Trego's going to go ahead and call a timeout here. A timeout with no time on the clock.
Trego has kind of shot themselves in the foot this first half. 6 penalties, 35 yards, and none bigger than the one we just saw.
Yep, that was a huge flag. If the defensive lineman's getting towards your quarterback at that point in time and you know that he's got him beat, you just got to let him go. At that time, it gets caught with a hold. Man, that's just that's a huge penalty for the Golden Eagles. And if you're Hill City, you caught a huge break. So now Trego is definitely going to go back and play deep defense. They're in the secondary. Probably only rush 3. Looks like Slade Rohr is going to be a linebacker, kind of playing deep linebacker. But you got Bourne, Smith, and Aiden Hall going to try to bring the pressure. Balthazar, Keysweater, Ashbaugh, and Bootig all the way back in the secondary.
See if he targets Vladen Crawford again. Rolling out, looking for a receiver, chucks it downfield, and it is intercepted at the 1.
Yep.
And that's the way the first half is going to end.
Wow.
30-20, the Hill City Ringnecks have stormed back to take the 2-possession lead. Fans on the home side of the stadium here in Hill City are on their feet, and it's been quite a show that's been put on for them.
Yes, it has. It started off pretty hot for Trego, but Hill City got all the momentum after they got that first touchdown on the board on the scoop and score, and now it's been all Ringnecks, and we'll see if they can keep it going. Trego's just going to have to flip the script coming out of half.
Score update out of Great Bend at the half. 14-14. It's tied up between Hayes and number 1 ranked Great Bend. All right, we're going to take a timeout, get a chance to get something to drink, and and get our stats all compiled. But we will be back here shortly. We're at the half, 30-20. Ringnecks with the lead. You're watching Nex-Tech Game Time.
A special thanks to our Trego Golden Eagle Game Time Boosters, Waukeeny Ready Mix, Outdoor Bank of Waukeeny, Shiloh Vineyards, and Sheer Designs. These proud supporters stand behind the Waukeeny students and athletes. Go Fight Win from Solutions North Bank of Waukeeny, Day Motorsports, and Nutrient Ag Solutions of Waukeeny. They're rooting for the Trego Golden Eagles as they battle their way through the postseason. Good luck, Eagles!
Nex-Tech Wireless has been offering superior coverage to Kansans for close to 20 years. My, how things have changed. Bringing us to modern technology we trust and depend on. Rain or shine, wind or snow, we'll be there. Because we live here too. We're investing in our communities and connecting Kansans. It's not a gimmick, it's our guarantee.
No matter who you are, the Hayes Rec Commission is for you. There's leisure programs for all ages. There's a wellness center that works for anyone at any level. Youth and adult sports, aquatics, and great facilities for any event. Go to hazerec.org to see the list of activities and sign up. Here are some of the upcoming activities.
We're still having fun. Hayes Rec's the one. We are still the one.
Here at Mapes & Miller, we take care of your finances, allowing you time to take care of your business, farm, and personal lives. We offer financial services, including tax prep, bookkeeping, payroll, and auditing. We offer services to farmers, ranchers, small businesses, and more. By coming to us, you will be able to spend more time at your business and with your families. It's not what you make, it's what you keep.
Suicide is the second leading cause of death for kids. That's why I rely on Bark. Built by parents, for parents. Bark's award-winning dashboard monitors text messages, emails, and over 30 different apps and platforms for potential safety concerns. Hey, can we talk? Okay.
Across Northwest Kansas, families rely on more than just good neighbors. They count on trusted care. At Phillips County Health Systems, we serve our communities with one mission: patient-centered excellence. From emergency services to specialty care, we provide comprehensive, high-quality health care focused on you. Phillips County Health Systems, caring for our region, centered on you.
Ready to step into comfort again? At High Plains Podiatry, Dr. Robert Hins has over 20 years of experience helping families across southwest Nebraska and northwest Kansas stay on their feet. From heel pain to sports injuries to diabetic care and surgery, we're here to restore your stride. Don't live with foot pain. Call High Plains Podiatry today at 308-345-3773 to schedule your appointment.
And welcome back, everybody, to Ring Next Stadium here at the sectional rounds of 8-man Division I playoffs. 30-20, Hill City over Trego. Here at halftime, as it's been a battle of the birds back and forth here in Hill City. As it all started with a 14-0 lead for Trego in the first quarter after only running 3 offensive plays. Both touchdowns made by Jack Connis, and then a huge scoop and score by Aiden Hall for 63 yards, put Hill City on the board. And then all the momentum switched over to the Ringnecks, allowing Trego to score that 1 touchdown in the second quarter. So let's go through our box score between both teams, starting off with Hill City in the entire game so far. They've had 3 first downs for 29 rushing attempts for a total of 135 rushing yards and 3 rushing touchdowns. Balthazar has thrown the ball 6 times, completing 3 of those for 50% for 28 yards. They've had 163 total offensive yards on 35 plays. Like I said, 163 total yards, just averaging under 5 yards a play at 4.6. Over at Trego's side, they have 7 first downs on 21 rushing attempts for 110 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns, all by Jack Connis, 11 passing attempts, 6 of those completed for 71 yards, and 1 interception, which was thrown on that untimed down at the end of the first half, caught by Balthazar. As that's 2 turnovers now for Trego, as one of them was that fumble recovery by Hall I just spoke about, and then that interception late in the first half. Trego's ran 32 total plays for 181 total yards. They're averaging just over 5 yards a play at 5.66. Let's go through individual stats, starting off with the home team, the Hill City Ringnecks, as Balthazar through the air, 5 attempts for 3 completions for 32 yards. Tyler Ashbaugh, 8 attempts for 27 yards. Ryan Budig, 7 rushes for 27 as well. Jack Connis on the other side for Trego, 14 rushes for 134 yards, leading the game. And then Ashton wins 6 rushes for 39 yards, as Connis is averaging 9.6 yards a carry, the widest margin by any player on the field so far. When it comes to receivers for Hill City, 3 receptions coming from Slade Roar. He's the only one who's gotten the ball through the air for Hill City for 32 yards, averaging 10.7 yards a catch. And then over for the Golden Eagles, 4 Golden Eagles having passes caught tonight. Jared Aschenbrenner, 1 reception for 38 yards. Jack Connis also with 1 reception for 13. And Aaron Sampson, 1 reception for 4 yards. And Bladen Crawford, he's had 3 receptions for 16 total yards. So it's all notched up at 14 at the end of the first quarter. And then Hill City comes out, scores 16 in the second quarter compared to the 6 by the Golden Eagles. So if we look at the defensive side of the ball, Jackson Smith has a sack and also has a rush for 3 yards on offense. And then Kobe Keysweater also got counted with that sack on the fumble recovery by Aiden Hall. And then if we look at Trego's defensive, it's 1 sack coming from Jack Connis, and that's about all that has happened on the defensive side for the Golden Eagles. So this one's been back and forth, but Hill City with the momentum. Trego's going to get the ball at half here, as we have 7 minutes until we come back at halftime here on Nex-Tech Game Time. So stay tuned, grab your popcorn, because we still have another 24 minutes left of football happening here on Nex-Tech Game Time, and we'll be back with it.
Ready to step into comfort again? At High Plains Podiatry, Dr. Robert Hins has over 20 years of experience helping families across southwest Nebraska and northwest Kansas stay on their feet. From heel pain to sports injuries to diabetic care and surgery, we're here to restore your stride. Don't live with foot pain. Call High Plains Podiatry today at 308-345-3773 to schedule your appointment. A special thanks to our Hill City Ringneck Game Time Boosters, Hill City Pharmacy, Elliott Plumbing, Heating and Air Conditioning, and First State Bank. These proud supporters stand behind the Hill City students and athletes. Go Fight Win from Outdoor Bank of Hill City, Piper Service, Midwest Contractors, and Hair Studio Salon and Spa. Good luck, Ringneck football, as you battle your way through the postseason.
Nex-Tech Wireless has been offering superior coverage to Kansans for close to 20 years. My, how things have changed. Bringing us to modern technology we trust and depend on. Rain or shine, wind or snow, we'll be there. Because we live here too. We're investing in our communities and connecting Kansans. It's not a gimmick, it's our guarantee.
A special thanks to our Trego Golden Eagle Game Time Boosters, Waukeeny Ready Mix, Outdoor Bank of Waukeeny, Shiloh Vineyards, and Sheer Designs. These proud supporters stand behind the Waukeeny students and athletes. Go Fight Win from Solutions North Bank of Waukeeny, Day Motorsports, and Nutrient Ag Solutions of Waukeeny. They're rooting for the Trego Golden Eagles as they battle their way through the postseason. Good luck, Eagles!
No matter who you are, the Hayes Rec Commission is for you. There's leisure programs for all ages. There's a wellness center that works for anyone at any level. Youth and adult sports, aquatics, and great facilities for any event. Go to hazerec.org To see the list of activities and sign up, here are some of the upcoming activities.
We're still having fun. Hayes Rex the one. We are still the one.
A special thanks to our Trego Golden Eagle Game Time Boosters, Waukeeny Animal Hospital, Trego Recreation Commission, and Pathway Ag of Waukeeny. These proud supporters stand behind the Waukeeny students and athletes. Go Fight Win from Prairie Rose Inn and Rosie's Bar and Grill, First Federal Bank, a branch of Lions Federal Bank, and Professional Fire Equipment, longtime supporter of Nex-Tech Game Time. Good luck to the Eagles as you battle your way through the postseason. A special thanks to our Hill City Ringneck Game Time Boosters, Weller's Tax and Accounting Service, Solutions North Bank of Hill City, and Grand County Recreation. These proud supporters stand behind the Hill City students and athletes. Go Fight Win from Keith Spraying Service, Elin Title Company, and Professional Fire Equipment, longtime booster of Nex-Tech Game Time. These sponsors are cheering on the Ringneck football team as they battle their way through the postseason.
Here at Mapes & Miller, we take care of your finances, allowing you time to take care of your business, farm, and personal lives. We offer financial services, including tax prep, bookkeeping, payroll, and auditing. We offer services to farmers, ranchers, small businesses, and more. By coming to us, you will be able to spend more time at your business and with your families. It's not what you make, it's what you keep.
Suicide is the second leading cause of death for kids. That's why I rely on Bark. Built by parents, for parents. Bark's award-winning dashboard monitors text messages, emails, and over 30 different apps and platforms for potential safety concerns. Hey, can we talk? Okay.
Across Northwest Kansas, families rely on more than just good neighbors. They count on trusted care. At Phillips County Health Systems, we serve our communities with one mission: patient-centered excellence. From emergency services to specialty care, we provide comprehensive, high-quality health care focused on you. Phillips County Health Systems, caring for our region, centered on you.
We are at the half here at Ringneck Stadium as the Hill City Ringnecks have put on quite a show tonight for their hometown fans. They are up 30-20. Trego will get the ball to start the second half. But let's catch you up on some scores that we have. South Central is leading Wichita County 34-28, and they are in the fourth quarter of that ball game. Some other score updates for you. At the half, Salina South over Salina Central, 17-14. And also at the half, Great Bend and Hayes are tied at 14. Holden over Santa Fe Trail, actually that's tied at the half at 14. Smith Center over Moundridge at the half, 14-7. Victoria has a 14-6 lead at the half. At a final, they had a 6 p.m. start, and it's a final. Southeast of Saline 48, Phillipsburg Panthers 6. So that closes out the season for the Phillipsburg Panthers. And then a final in 8-man Division II in their sectional round. Hodgman County beat Wallace County in overtime tonight, 34-28.
Wow.
So those are the updates that we have, and we'll keep an eye on the other games going on. It's 30-20. That's the most important score here in Hill City with the Ringnex with the 2-possession lead. And Tate, what are your thoughts of this of the first half?
Well, I mean, at the start of the game, you're kind of looking like, man, Trego's offense is looking nearly unstoppable right now. But, Hill City's defense came up with that huge stop on the scoop and score, and that was the complete game changer as that put Hill City on the board. And, it's like they started to tie their shoes after that scoop and scores. All the momentum just tilted on the teeter-totter their way after being tied in the first quarter, and then Hill City outscoring Trego 16-6 in that second quarter. That's the game changer right there. And also, if you still look at the total yards, 242 total yards for Trego and only 167. So by the stats, Trego's playing better game, but by the game, Hill City's playing better football. And it's just it seems like Hill City's coming together as a team right now. And ironically, the score is the same at half here in the playoffs than it was when it finished the first game of the season back here in Hill City where Trego got the win. So there's still 24 minutes of football going to happen, and Trego will get the ball at half. And, there's a lot of football left to be played, and both teams know that. And so they just want to keep playing the football that they know how to play. Trego, they're going to want to play the football they've played all season, but Hill City, keep playing the same football you're playing tonight.
So, Tate, if you were Pat Haxton, what are you telling your Golden Eagles team in the locker room?
Well, I'm telling them the exact same thing I just said, I think, was, go back to the football we were playing this year, or even at the start of this game, rushing the football for, 40 yards on the first play, 40-some yards on the first play of the game. Get that rushing game going. So that's going to be the main priority. The passing game's there, though. That's the thing is, you're going to have to find that happy mixture of passes and runs that'll work and try to find this hole through the Hill City defense. But so we're getting ready to play some football. We got 19 seconds left on the clock. Hill City is going to be back to kick at the 30, and Trego's going to be back to receive. And the biggest 24 minutes of this football season for both of these teams is coming up upon us.
Zoner number 25 kicking off.
So the way that Zoner kicks the ball, you would imagine that that second level of that receiving team of Trego is going to have to be ready for the ball to come that way. Christopher Gum was the recipient of the last one. This one is just a sweep kick up the middle, picked up at the 20, out to the 28-yard line, and that is where Trego will take their first possession here of the second half.
Yep, and this is where Trego is going to have to start to get something going on offense if they're going to try to crawl back into this one. They still can't tie it or take the lead here on this drive, but they just have to go back to the defense they've played all season, but they got to get the offense rolling first here on this first down and 10 at the 28-yard line in their own territory.
Winmuth gets the snap, hands off up the middle to Jack Connis, and Jack will pick up 4. And let's call it 3.
And off to Connis.
Going to your workhorse early. Probably go back to him again, I would guess.
Gain of 3 brings up second and 7.
Second and 7 now for the Golden Eagles as Layden Crawford, the freshman, brings in the play to Ashton Wynn, and Crawford's going to be split right, I formation again for the Golden Eagles. Wynn pitches out to Connis. Connis looking for room, breaks the one tackle and is finally drug out of bounds, but not after he crosses the midfield stripe, and it is enough for a first down.
Yep, and like I said, they're going to go right back to him. And they do. They get the first down as they just keep on getting that number of 9-10 yards. As we got a clock issue, so we're going to see what we're going to see. There's 11:48 on the clock. That's where they're going to have it at. And now it's a first down and 10, now into Hill City territory. Golden Eagles in I formation.
Here's a pitch out to Conness, this time to the left. Conness following his blockers, and nice job by the Hill City ringneck defense to keep Conness from really gaining anything.
Yep, good job by Key Sweater. He's the one, he just kept his feet moving. He didn't want Conness to get any more yards than he could, as that was only maybe, it wasn't even a 1 yard gain by Jack Conness there, so it's going to be called a second down, and we'll call it a long 9.
Split right is Winholtz, and the way he's lined up, looks like he's offsides, but
no
they're going
flag.
to let the play run. And Jack Conness is stuffed right away. Briggs Bourne, big tackle for the sophomore.
So now you have a third down and long. Trego, I would guess, probably going to try to air it out here and try to get this at least closer to the first down marker. I'd be careful of the curls or the zigs outside if I'm the defensive backs of the Ringnecks.
Yep, he likes to get over on the side to Bladen Crawford, who the freshman has 6 touchdowns, receptions on the year, and 200 yards coming into this ball game. He is split left. Back to pass is Wynn. Wynn looking deep for Wynn, and the closest closest player out there was Tyler Ashbaugh. I'm not sure what happened. I don't know if the ball slipped out of his, or did his arm get hit when he threw the ball. I couldn't quite tell.
Balthazar, the defensive back there for the Ringnecks, he wasn't falling for that double move, and now it's a 4th down and long. It's a huge 4th down for the Golden Eagles.
Back to pass is Wynn. Wynn's pass is knocked down.
Wow. Key Sweater's the one that knocked it down.
Key Sweater's having himself a heck of a defensive ball game tonight, folks. And that whole front line of that ringneck defensive line.
Wow, yeah, he's had, I'd like to say that's 2 or 3 batted down passes now. And that one coming at a huge 4th down. Hill City's going to get the ball back. Momentum in their favor. Let's see if they can keep it rolling here on offense, as Trego's going to have 4 down linemen.
We're almost 2 minutes into the third quarter. Handoff breaking out to the left. This goes to Ashbaugh, and Ashbaugh's going to pick up, let's give him 4 on the play.
Yep. Nice little run there by Ashbaugh. Cut it right back inside where he needed to. Now it's a second down and 5.
Yep, they're going to give him progress out to outside the 40-yard line, so second down and 5. Ringnecks looking to build on a 10-point lead here in front of their home crowd. Balthazar is going to keep it himself. He gets the first down as Wynn was trying to strip that ball out. He gets the tackle, but not before Balthazar gets the first down.
Yep, nice run by Balthazar. He's been that dual threat quarterback for the Ringnecks, and he's shown it why now with that nice run. First down and 10.
It's going to be a handoff to the right side, and again, this is Slade Rohr, and Rohr is run out of bounds, and a pickup.
Rohr, the ball carrier.
Let's give him 3 on the play.
Nice little stiff arm out there as well. He kind of held that defender off him. If there wasn't a stiff arm, it's going to be a second down and 10, but now it's a little bit more manageable at second down and 7.
Here's the call to Budig, and Budig is finally stopped, and it took 4 players for Trego to try to bring him down, and a first down for Hill City as they have just taken control of this game after 11 yards run.
Just kept his feet moving.
Yep.
That's all that happened there. Now first down and 10, and Hill City just into the red zone.
Budig with 478 yards coming into this ball game, and it is
it's on Trego.
Yep, a flag on Trego. Did they jump off sides again? I was looking down at my score sheet here. Ball marked at the 14-yard line.
Penalty against the Eagles. Ball is on
5-yard
the
penalty,
14.
and tell you what, that's been a big bugaboo tonight for Trego. Tate these penalties. Back to pass, and it is caught. Oh my goodness, what a Tate Balthazar to who else?
Jackson Smith.
Jackson Smith, the leading receiver. That's his 11th touchdown of the season. And all of a sudden, Hill City has blown this game wide open.
What a pass and what a catch. We've seen a couple of them tonight, and that's one of them. Jackson Smith with a huge touchdown. It's now a 16-point deficit, something Trego has not seen all season long.
They have not, and Trego needs to stop a 2-point conversion here if they want to keep it within 2 scores, but it's not going to happen. Slade Roar punches it in from 3 yards out. The 2-point conversion is good, and just like that, it's a 38-20 lead for the Hill City Ringnecks. 8:32 left to go in the third quarter. You're watching Nex-Tech Game Time.
A special thanks to our Hill City Ringneck Game Time boosters, Hill City Pharmacy, Elliott Plumbing, Heating and Air Conditioning, and First State Bank. These proud supporters stand behind the Hill City students and athletes. Go Fight Win from Outdoor Bank of Hill City, Piper Service, Midwest Contractors, and Hair Studio Salon and Spa. Good luck, Ringneck football, as you battle your way through the postseason.
Fresh off of a 6-play, 41-yard drive, Tate Balthazar connects with Jackson Smith in the corner of the end zone.
A special thanks to our Hill City Ringneck Game Time booster.
Slade Roar punches it in for the 2-point conversion, and it is a 38-20 lead now for the Hill City Rednecks. And so far, Tate? Ringnecks. What did I? I've been trying to. Wow. Okay. Well, I guess my night's done. Oh, man. I have no idea. That's what I get for trying to think and talk at the same time. It just doesn't work out very well. My apologies to all the great Hill City fans and to and before the people up here in the press box kick me out. I do.
It's going to take a lot more than that, I fear. But
okay, beer's on me after the game. Okay, so 28-yard line is where the kickoff return is brought out to, and Coach Pat Haxon and his Trego Golden Eagles have a lot of work to do, Tate.
Yep, first down and 10. Trego's offense just has nothing going on here, and they need to get something going as they try with Connis, but that's an excellent defensive play by the Ringnecks.
Yeah, Connis is going to pick up maybe a yard on that play out to the 29.
Sweep on the right side.
So Hill City has figured things out, and they have for a while in this ball game. They've kind of figured things out, and Jack Connis, after having an explosive first 2 series of this ball game, Hill City's really kept him in check.
Yep, just keep one of them in check, and you're kind of set, and Hill City's done a good job of that. Hound's going to be shotgun here for Win. And a false start.
Jack Connis had 106 yards of rushing in the first quarter and 2 touchdowns.
False start called against the
False start call on Trego.
Golden Eagles. Puts the ball back on the
5-yard penalty. Knocks it back to the 25-yard line. Brings up 2nd and 13.
Brings up 2nd and 13 from the 25.
$8:21 left to go here in the third quarter. Trego trying to climb back into this. This is something that they have really not experienced this year. And it's a keeper. And I tell you what, that defensive front by the Ringnecks are having their way with that offensive line.
Yep, not sure if that one was a designed option or not there by Trego, but I think that's one that Ashton Wynn probably needs to pull away and keep. He had all the space in the world there to the left side. as the Ringnecks are kind of focusing on that inside dive, as that's a good chance for Pat Haxton to try to get a bunch of yards back, as that was one of them. I don't know if it was a design play option or not, but that's one of those ones that if he knew what he knew, he would have pulled it and took off with it, I think.
Shotgun formation. Back to pass is Wynn, looking for a receiver, and he finds Aaron Sampson, but he is going to be stopped about 4 yards shy of the first down. So now it's 4th down and 4. Tate.
Nope, you go for it.
Yeah, you have to, because you gotta get the momentum going at some point.
Yeah, they're going to go for it here. Great pass by Ashton Wynn there to Sampson. That was a frozen rope right in the middle and a good open field tackle by Balthazar. Now you got this 4th down and 4 here for the Golden Eagles. It's a huge 4th down. You don't want to give the Ringnecks back the ball inside your own territory.
Shotgun formation. Goes back to Wynn. Wynn. He's going to keep it. He's going to run. He's got the 1st down and more. He's out past the 30. He's out past the 25 and finally brought down to the 23-yard line.
Yep. Like we got that option earlier that he didn't pull it. That time he saw the space in front of him, took off with it, and got a huge 1st down, breaking tackles along the way. Now the Golden Eagles have something going on offense, because that was a tough 4th down, but now they have a fresh set of downs inside the 25 at the 24-yard line after that 22-yard gain.
So I formation is kind of new life now for the Golden Eagles. Here's a handoff to Connors. Just kind of a broken up play, as looked like Wayne kind of dropped the ball from the center snap and tried to get it off Connors, and Connors is actually going to lose a yard.
Yeah, but kind of ruined all the timing on the handoff, that kind of bumbled snap, and that's what caused the loss of yards. You know, you're used to just getting the ball and handing it off quick, but that time the timing was just a little bit off. Connors had to hesitate, and they lose a yard, so now it's 2nd down and 11.
Coach, there was some confusion on the offensive side of the ball. Weston Winholtz, the sophomore, wasn't sure where he would needed to be in the formation. Pat Haxton is going to call a timeout instead of giving up a penalty or something like that. So that leaves Trego with just 2 timeouts, and you're down by 18 points.
Yeah, and those timeouts might come in a little bit crucial there in the 4th quarter. But having to use one here with a miscommunication, it kind of hurts. But, you know, once again, you get to bring up the huddle and talk things through, and that's a big thing for Coach Haxton right now, is try to get these players online and try to get them something going. So now this 2nd down 11, after this timeout, is going to be a huge play here for the Golden Eagles. You need to get at least 8 or 9 yards back of this, and then maybe set yourself up with a pass. Seems like the passing game's going on a little bit better here for Trego in this 2nd half.
Yeah, their running game, which has been a strong point of their offense, has been stymied by this Hill City defense. Jack Connis gets the call, and he is going to make the 1st down. He's going to pick up. Oh, that is not a 1st down. My apologies. He's got past the original line of scrimmage. And that's a pickup of 3, so it brings up a huge 3rd down and 9.
Yep, I would think that Trego would go back through the air on this play. This is a crucial time to get a 1st down. You definitely don't want to get to a 4th down, so try to get this 1st down here on this 3rd. They're going to be in the shotgun with Crawford out left.
We'll get you some more scores coming up here shortly from playoffs around the state. Here's a pass out to Crawford. Crawford, nice cut, and he is going to get a 1st down. What a huge pickup for Crawford, and I'm going to just that quick outside pass and a great juke to go on top of that.
Yep, so now it's at the 14. Got to get to the 4-yard line for the 1st down. 4:51 and ticking left in this 3rd quarter. This drive here with all the time that's been drained off the clock is a huge drive it's coming up to be.
Yeah, it is chewing up the clock. Is that we're at almost 4.5 left to go here in a very quick moving 3rd quarter.
Yeah, they're just trying to keep the ball out of Hill City's hands at this point.
Exactly. Connus finds a hole on the right side, gets out close to the 10.
Connors, the ball carrier.
Let me give him
Brought down by Roar.
a modest 3 on the play, 2nd down and 7.
Brings up. Gaining 3, brings up.
So the clock's going to just keep on rolling. Like I said a little bit ago, they want to keep the ball out of Hill City's hands. They're doing a good job on this drive, putting together a long, extensive drive. Now 2nd down and 7.
So I formation. Got Cass Smith and Connus in the backfield. Handoff up the middle to Connus. He is tripped up and will be brought down at the 9-yard line. And it's going to give him about a yard on that, and it's going to bring up
3rd and 7 from the 9.
very important again, 3rd and 7, Tate.
Yeah, every play here in the second half is going to turn out to be important for Trego, obviously. It's nice little shoelace tackle there from Roar. Is if he doesn't make that tackle, that's going to be much closer to the 1st down. But now it's his 3rd down and 7. Crawford out there left. Watch out for this in and out.
That's what they're looking for, and there's the connection, and Crawford breaks the tackle and gets in for the touchdown. We're going to call it a 9-yard touchdown pass to Crawford.
Yep, and if you're Trego, you're very happy with that drive. You wasted a lot of time off the clock and also put points on the board. They have a chance to get back to a 10-point deficit here if they can put in this 2-point conversion. Excellent drive there by the Golden Eagles.
Took a lot of time off the clock. And let's see what Coach Haxton has in mind here is option play. And Wenda's going to take it himself, and he got in.
He got the football past the end zone before those knees, and that's the most important part. Back to a 10-point ball game, Steve.
Yeah, 38-28. 3:06 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. The Ringnecks with the lead. And we will take a quick timeout. You're watching Nex-Tech Game Time.
A special thanks to our Trego Golden Eagle Game Time Boosters, Waukeeny Ready Mix, Outdoor Bank of Waukeeny, Shiloh Vineyards, and Sheer Designs. These proud supporters stand behind the Waukeeny students and athletes. Go Fight Win from Solutions North Bank of Waukeeny, Day Motorsports, and Nutrient Ag Solutions of Waukeeny. They're rooting for the Trego Golden Eagles as they battle their way through the postseason. Good luck, Eagles!
Touchdown pass to Bladen Crawford from 9 yards out, and Trego completed 3 third down conversions. They're 50% on the night. But the most important number, they are down 38-28 with just over 3 minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter.
Yep, and Hill City's going to get the ball back, and now it's their turn just to do a long drive. I expect this one to probably start out at the 15-yard line after a touchback, I would guess. But they just want to melt as much, hopefully try to take this to the end of the 3rd quarter with the ball in their hands.
And
see.
He's going to kick it.
It's going to be
It's actually
returnable.
going to be returned by Balthazar from the 2. Breaks one tackle, breaks another tackle. There's a flag on the play. And he is finally run out of bounds at the Golden Eagle 30-yard line. But there is a flag laying on the Ringneck 19-yard line. And I think this may be coming back, Tate.
Yep, I think this is going to be a blocking flag, and it sure looks like it. Everyone's coming back, even the Ringnecks, so most likely a hold. Blocking back. Yep.
So block in the back is the call, and so a nice return by Balthazar is negated by that penalty, and so Hill City will start.
They kind of wish they had the touchback after this. They're at the 10-yard line.
Yep. Actually, they're going to mark it just inside the 10 at the 9.
As long as the Ringnecks just put together a good drive and get some yardage, this is a good field positioning when it comes to actually taking the time off the clock. So you have to make it down further.
Here's a pitch out. This is Budig. Budig is brought down by Connus and by Bladen Crawford. And it's going to be a pickup of a yard on that Well, 2 yards. Let's call 2.
Great job by the Trego defense, swarming out there to the outside, not allowing to get at least 5 yards on that, as the Ringnecks are going to go back to the I formation.
Here's a handoff up the middle.
Wow.
Oh, and he is smacked hard. Jack Connison laying the wood on Ryan Budig. And Budig got back to the original line of scrimmage. It's 3rd and 8.
Yep, this is a big 3rd down here for the Ringnecks. This is you definitely don't want to give the ball back to Trego, even though they need 2 scores to get back into it. You don't want to give them the ball back and even get them back within 1. Touchdown on this drive is crucial.
And we know that 2 scores is not that
and
hard.
They got him to go.
Another one.
Yep, hard count.
Yep, again, that front line of the Trego defensive line jumps off sides. That was Christopher Gum, and you've got to think Coach Pat Haxton is just beyond himself. That's the 9th penalty on Trego.
Yeah, and like all season, we didn't see, it seemed like a lot of flags on Trego, but tonight it's a different story.
Back to pass is Balthazar. He is almost sacked, and then he's finally brought down. That is Jared Aschenbrenner, who finally got Balthazar down, and huge loss.
Yeah, and Ashbaugh over here on the near side was wide open, but the pressure from the Golden Eagles is going to cause a Hill City punt. And if you're Balthazar, I mean, you take the yardage all the way back, but throwing it away probably was going to end badly. It was going to be either a intentional grounding or an interception, so take the punt and get a stop on defense.
It's like a loss of 13 yards on that. Nice punt, retrieved by Wynn at the 37. Runs around the left side and is finally brought down at the 23-yard line.
Yep, so now Trego starts off this drive with excellent field positioning here. Now at the 24-yard line, and they're looking to make it back to a one-score game, something we haven't seen since the second quarter with 55 seconds left in this third.
Jared Aschenbrenner with that big sack. That was his, well, as I look at my score sheet here, that was his 10th sack of the season, and he had a ton of them last week, and he's only a freshman. Jack Connis gets the carry here, and not much going. They're going to give him maybe a yard as the clock continues to run, Tate. We're at 40 seconds left to go here in the third quarter.
Yep, and Trego's just going to keep on trying to run this clock off because they noticed Hill City's defense kind of had a little bit of a weakness on that last drive, so they're going to try to melt this clock all the way down to the third quarter after a couple more plays.
So if you're Coach Pat Haxton, are you going to throw? You will. And it is incomplete, intended for Crawford.
Pass intended for Crawford, number 1, follows incomplete.
As Wynn was a little under duress there, but with 20 seconds left to go, and now you're faced with a, well, the scoreboard says 3rd and 23, but it's actually 3rd and 9, and so we'll see what Trego does here. Wynn is going to keep it, tuck it. He's going to run, and a nice ankle tackle over there by Aiden Hall.
Yeah,
Tate.
and if he doesn't make that tackle, that's a first down. So a good shoelace tackle. Now it's coming up with a huge 4th down here for the Golden Eagles. If you're Hill City, you got to watch out for this pass out to Crawford or even the other side to a curl. But first, it's going to take us to our final 12 minutes of this sectional round.
Well, if you had a kicker,
yeah,
and if you made a field goal, that brings you within 7 points. But here we are. So we're headed into the fourth quarter. Trego is faced with a 4th and 5 to start the fourth quarter as they are down by 10 points, 38-28. You're watching Nex-Tech Game Time.
A special thanks to our Trego Golden Eagle Game Time Boosters, Waukeeny Ready Mix, Outdoor Bank of Waukeeny, Shiloh Vineyards, and Sheer Designs. These proud supporters stand behind the Waukeeny students and athletes. Go Fight Win from Solutions North Bank of Waukeeny. Day Motorsports, and Nutrient Ag Solutions of Waukene. They're rooting for the Trego Golden Eagles as they battle their way through the postseason. Good luck, Eagles!
So, Trego with their most important play of the game here as we start the fourth quarter. And Trego is 20% on fourth downs tonight.
Yeah, and you got to look out for the hard count here at this fourth down and 5, and offsides could get them the first down. It'd be very close, so we got to be careful not going on 2.
Crawford split left. Back to pass. Wynn.
It's a hold.
There's a hold, and Wynn's going to tuck it, and it's going to be a hold and a complete pass, and it is a touchdown.
Nope,
no, it's not. Nope, he's dropped at the 2-yard line. So, Tate, do you take the...
I would decline it and take the play.
Yep.
That's what I would do. You're inside the 5. You take the hold. You're only up there to the 10-yard line. So
yeah.
I would decline it and take the yards.
Bladen Crawford was grabbed by his jersey and was kept from running. I didn't catch who the defensive player was.
It was Balthazar.
Balthazar, okay. Holding is the call on the defense. That penalty, of course, is going to be declined.
Declined by Trego.
And so a fresh set of downs says prior to this fourth down conversion, Trego is 1 of 5, 20%. So, but they complete the 16-yard pass down to the 2-yard line, and with 11:40 and the clock running, it's 1st and goal now for the Golden Eagles.
Yep, Hill City needs a huge stop, but Trego also needs a big play for a touchdown.
So is this going to be Connis time? It is, and he is into the end zone for the touchdown. Jack Connis from 2 yards out, and that is his
number 4, right?
I believe that's his 4th touchdown of the ball game. And that brings Trego down by 4, going for a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, and if Hill City stops this 2-point conversion and gets a touchdown, they're back to a 2-point lead. So this is one of those crucial 2-point conversions here for the Golden Eagles to keep it from happening.
So do you rely on Connis? Nope, it's going to be Wynn. Nice pass, and the 2-point conversion is good to number 19, Cass Smith. That's his second 2-point conversion catch. And Trego is back in this ballgame, 38-36 with 11:19 left to go in the final quarter. You're watching Nex-Tech Game Time.
A special thanks to our Trego Golden Eagle Game Time Boosters, Waukene Animal Hospital, Trego Recreation Commission, and Pathway Ag of Waukene. These proud supporters stand behind the Waukene students and athletes. Go Fight Win from Prairie Rose Inn and Rosie's Bar and Grill, First Federal Bank, a branch of Lions Federal Bank, and Professional Fire Equipment, longtime supporter of Nex-Tech Game Time. Good luck to the Eagles as you battle your way through the postseason.
Back at Ringneck Stadium as Trego just punched it in and got the 2-point conversion. 38-36 is the score, and Jack Connis kind of spearheaded that. 25 carries tonight for Jack, 162 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, and it kind of seems like the momentum's kind of flipped upside down now. Now the momentum's all in the Golden Eagles' favored side, and Hill City's main responsibility here on offense in the fourth quarter is to get points on the board, because this is only a 2-point difference on the scoreboard. And man, this is the game that we expected it to be.
So on the other side of the field, Tate Balthazar is 4 of 6, 46 yards and a touchdown tonight as Ashton Wynn's kickoff goes out the back of the end zone.
Touchback will be Hill City's ball, 1st and 10.
And it is 1st and 10 for the Ringnecks. And Tate, as you were saying, this is an important possession
Yeah,
for
it
the
is.
Ringnecks.
It definitely is. You need to get points on the board. 6 will make it an 8-point game, and 8 will make it a 10-point game.
And off this goes to Budig. Budig is stopped, but not till he gets to the 20. Well, I thought he made it out to the 20-yard line.
No, he's just short of it. It'll be a gain of 4 on that one. And
Yeah, I thought he had made it out to the 20, but they marked him out down at the 19. Balthazar gets the snap. He's going to keep this himself. Brings it out to the 24, gains 5, and it's going to be a 3rd down
Number 7 on the stop.
and 2 to go.
Yep, huge 3rd down here. Get the 1st down, get a fresh set, keep the clock moving if you're the Ringnecks.
Call it 3rd down and a long one. Balthazar gets the snap, keeps it himself, and he slips on the turf. Actually, that wasn't Balthazar. That was Tyler Ashbaugh. And his feet just came out from underneath him, Tate.
Yep, turf monster gets Ashbaugh, and now it's a 4th down, and this is a must-get 1st down. You got to go for it, get the 1st down, keep the clock moving. First time we've seen Wildcat out of the Ringneck offense tonight.
10 minutes left to go in the 4th quarter. Hill City facing a 4th and 1, and it is a successful conversion and a pickup of 2 for Balthazar and the first set of downs for the Ringnecks.
Yeah, this is kind of one of the points in the game that, I wonder how loud it is outside, because I bet Trego's side was yelling during that play, try to get something going, but they're going to go back to the Wildcat here with Ashbaugh.
Ashbaugh's going to take it to the right. Brings it out to the 30, close to the 30.
Yep, and the most important part about that is the clock keeps running.
The clock keeps running, yep. And you know that Coach Davian's telling them stay in bounds, whatever you do, keep that clock moving. Balthazar back under center. He's going to keep it himself. Breaks a tackle. He's got open running room. It's a foot race between him and Crawford. And Crawford finally is able to bring him out of bounds inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Wow, what a weird play at the start. It was supposed to be a handoff, or it wasn't supposed to be. It was designed to be like that, but I mean, I was fooled up here. What a run from Balthazar.
42 yards on that pickup by Balthazar, and that was a huge run with under 9 left to go.
Oh,
misdirection. And what a call. Number 28, that's Jackson Smith. Gets the rushing touchdown, and for Jackson, that's his 2nd carry of the season.
Yeah, that's an excellent play call, I think. I think that's perfect time to try to fool the defense thinking you're going outside for an easy play and trick them around for a touchdown. It's back to a 8-point game. This could make it 2 possessions here with a 2-point conversion.
Very important 2-point possession for both teams. And it is good. That's Slade Ward, number 18, gets the 3-yard carry in for the 2-point conversion. And just like that, Hill City has built up a 2-score lead here in Ringneck Country.
Wow. This game it's wild. Both teams playing good football, but man, Hill City with a 2-possession lead here this late in the 4th quarter. Trego's going to have to get points quick, and a big stop on defense. Wow, it's just it's been a heck of a game by both sides, but Hill City in the upper hand in this 4th quarter.
Hill City 5 of 6 on their 2-point conversions tonight. That's been key. Some updates for you at the end of the 3rd quarter. Smith Center and Moundridge tied at 14. Great Bend over Hayes 23-14 going into the 4th quarter.
Yeah, so now we're going to have Vincent Zoner at the 30-yard line to kick it off. And I want to give a quick shout out to Kevin Hemphill watching at home. Want to give him his best wishes as well. That's Vinny's uncle, so hope you're enjoying the broadcast as he's going to be the one to kick it off.
And it is deep, and it is it's going to be a touchback as the ball goes out into the end zone.
Yep, anytime the ball goes past the end zone, it's a touchback, no matter how it happens.
Yep, that was Jared Aschenbrenner having a hard time finding the grip on that ball, Tate.
Your heart kind of stops when you see, it's like a punt when it's touched, and then it's on the ground, it's a fumble, but in this case, it's just a touchback as long as it goes past the orange paint. So now Trego at the 15-yard line. This is where you got to get a quick score, and you got to avoid Hill City getting the ball back and run with it and running some clock off. So a lot of stipulations here in this fourth quarter for Coach Pat Haxton's Golden Eagles.
Well, the top receiver of Layton Crawford's on the sideline, and Connis looked like he was going to break that one open, but a nice job in there by Slade Ward to trip up Connis.
Yeah, that was a nice stop, and luckily he got him. It looked like Connis was going to get a lot of yardage on that play, but Ward comes up with a big stop, and now it's 2nd down and 7. And the clock is rolling at 8:20.
You're going to run some trick plays. Probably the time to do it. Crawford's still on the sideline.
It's a false start.
Yep, there's a false start, and that one's going to be chalked up to Cass Smith, and not the time for a penalty. And that's, if my math is correct, Mr. Statistician, that's their 10th penalty tonight.
Yep. And he's done it a couple times tonight. He got away with it a couple times, I think, but this time not so much. It's going to back him back to a 2nd down and 12 now for the Golden Eagles. That's just a huge penalty.
55 yards worth of penalties. Jack Connis gets the call and nothing at all.
Hill City's defense is playing extremely well here in this game. They have done a really good job stopping the playmaker Jack Connis on the ground. Even though they've allowed Jack Connis over 150 yards, it's now a 3rd down and 12, and they're getting the stops when it matters. So now Trego, I'd expect they're going to pass the ball out wide.
Connis with 176 yards, but they've been, other than a couple runs, they've been pretty hard-earned yards. Win, back to pass, flushed out of the pocket. He dumps it off out to Cass Smith, and Cass Smith is going to be about a yard shy.
Yep.
Going to give him 11 on that catch and run.
Yep, that's what the Golden Eagles needed to do. They needed to just get closer to that 1st down marker on a pass, and they do just that. Now it's a 4th down and 1. Hill City is going to be watching out for that hard count. And offsides will give you an easy 1st down. 6:37 and still ticking here on the clock.
Play of the game here for Trego. They failed to convert, and Hill City may end up playing their 5th straight home game next week.
Wow!
And nothing going. That is Jack Connis, and he is stuffed in the backfield.
That is an excellent time and an excellent play call by the defensive coach, Caleb Atkins, for Hill City. He's the one that called up that blitz at the perfect time. They knew they were going to give it to Connis up the middle, and they come up with a huge stop. Hill City gets the ball back at the 21-yard line with 6:19 left on the clock, up by 10 points. What a defensive stand by the Ringnecks.
Absolutely. 6:19 left to go, and so obviously Coach Davian, he's just going to run. And in fact, here's a nice run by Budig, and Budig is finally stopped inside the 15, but not before he picks up 8 yards on the play.
Yep, run the ball up the middle, waste time off the clock. That's exactly the Ringnecks plan here. Is now we're under 6 minutes on the dot in this contest. And man, Hill City's doing it well right now. Trego needs a turnover on defense. Is something we haven't seen, I don't think Hill City done all game, is commit a turnover. They've played very clean offensive football.
They're going to say 2nd and 3 from the 14-yard line. Hill City, no turnovers tonight. And Trego has had 2. Here is a handoff, and it's going to be a first down by Budig, number 2.
And he's doing a good job protecting the football, just both hands on the ball, not wanting to cause a turnover. And now it's a first down and goal just inside the 10-yard line. And a score here would be a long way for the Ringnecks. They'd be up by 2 scores still, but 2-point conversion would be pending, so a score here would be huge.
The clock is not the friend for Trego.
Yep.
And you can tell Balthazar is just milking this, and he's watching the back judge to see how much time he has left. He's going to pitch it out, and goes out of bounds is Tyler Ashbaugh out to the 6-yard line.
Yep, they're just waiting for that back judge to raise his hand. That means there's 10 seconds left on the play clock, trying to waste as much time as they can. And Balthazar knows that, so now it's going to be second down and goal from the 6-yard line as the Ringnecks are cooking up an upset here in Hill City.
And gets a little revenge if they end up winning this game from their loss the very first week of the season, where Trego came here and shocked the Ringnecks 30-20. But things are looking good right now for Hill City as the handoff goes to Ashbaugh again, and nothing going there.
Yep. But the best part about that is the clock's going to keep running.
Yep. Aaron Sampson with the stop, and Aaron Sampson, the senior, Ashton Wynn, a senior, Cass Smith, a senior, Darius Brown, seniors for the Trego Golden Eagles, as it's a third down for the Ringnecks. Senior Tate Balthazar is just going to let that clock keep running at 4:10. Handoff. He is going to be just a couple of yards shy, maybe 3 yards shy of the first down. That was Ryan Budig, also a senior, gets the call on that.
Yep, and Trego needs this stop here if they want to stay in this ball game. Now we're under 3:50 left, and if Trego can get a stop here, they're going to need a lot to happen on offense and defense in Forsyth, but a score here for Hill City would nearly lock down the game.
Budig with 14 carries and 58 yards in this ball game. Ashbaugh, 13 carries, 40 yards. But Balthazar, 14 carries, 128 yards, and 3 scores. Speaking of which,
he got it.
That is the game sealer right there. Balthazar knocks it in from 3 yards out. And right now we have a 52-36 game with 3:19 left to go. Balthazar shaken up a little bit on that play, and
yeah, and he almost didn't get that. I mean, that was a knee and a football to the end zone. I mean, that was so close, but good job by Balthazar.
So Balthazar, that's a great effort to make that dive, and
yep. And I would say this is probably the game sealer if Hill City can put this in. That'd make it a 3-possession game.
52-36. There's a rare penalty on delay of game on the Ringnecks. So that's going to make a 3-yard attempt. Now into 8 yards.
I do want to give an update. It's a 36-28 final. South Central defeats Wichita County, so winner of this will take on South Central.
Zoner and it's intercepted the 2-point conversion, and it's
2-point conversion. No good.
Yep, there's still 3 minutes and 19 seconds left for the Golden Eagles to work with. A lot is going to have to happen for them, but they're going to have to make a lot of quick plays out of bounds. Let's see what they can do after this touchdown by Hill City.
Got an update for you out of Great Bend, as they have 5.5 left to go in the fourth quarter. Hayes down 22-23 to Great Bend.
Sorry,
and
what was that? Sorry, I was relaying scores. What was that again?
22-23, Hayes down with 5.5 left to go.
Wow, that's a lot of people thought that was probably the game in the state tonight, and that's proven to be up. I know Great Bend was up 2 scores at one point, so it looks like Hayes making a little comeback here. It might be a little bit too late here in Hill City for Trego to make the comeback, but a lot can happen here in this final 3 minutes and 19 seconds.
Anything can happen, and
But for Trego.
Trego I haven't really seen them, Tate, with any sense of, I don't want to say it's not a sense of urgency, just not, I don't know if no huddle offense is part of their repertoire, if you will.
Yep.
And the kickoff goes out the corner of the end zone.
They're lucky it went out of bounds.
Yeah,
or through the end zone.
Ashton Wynn is kind of watching that one closely, and it's a touchback. And so with 3:19 left to go in the ball game,
Come back out to the 15, first and 10 Trego.
so Trego has to score 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions to tie this ball game up. And I think we're going to see a lot of passing here in the last 3:19. Wynn, shotgun formation, drops back. Good protection. He finds a crossing route, and this is complete to Weston Winholtz, number 20.
That's completed to
Pick up a 7. And the clock continues to run.
Yeah, and it's only his 3rd reception of the year. He only had 20 yards before that. Make it 27 now on the season, as they're having to spread out their offense and try to get this passing game going with multiple people. As now they're going to have 2 receivers right and a wingman on the left. Well, 1 on the right and a wingman on the right.
Here's the snap. Wynn, quick pass, and it is right into the hands of Kobe Keysweater, and he almost had the pick there.
Yeah, that's what his 4th batted pass, I think, of the night. So he's having a great night on the defensive line. And that's one thing that Hill City needed to focus on was their pass defense, and it's not all coming from the defensive backs, but it's mainly coming from the defensive line. Kobe Keysweater with all these batted passes down. They've been huge plays. 3rd down and 4 now for the Golden Eagles.
Slade Rohr looks like he's injured there, the linebacker for the Ringnecks. But it's 3rd and 4. He's going to stay in the game. Back to pass. Wynn is going to go throw it deep. And double coverage. And did he catch? No, he did not catch that. That was intended to Aschenbrenner. Falls incomplete. And it's the 4th down now and the season to go.
Yep.
For Trego with 2.5 left to go in the game.
Most important thing for Trego right now is to get this 1st down at least. If you can complete a pass up towards the 30, 35-yard line, that's great. But I don't expect him to probably air it out like that again. But at the same time, you need this 1st down, I think. You need to keep this drive going and then focus on that long play after the 1st down.
And I think that probably look for the double move or the a route to the sideline to not only do that but stop the clock.
Big
and
stop.
That is the game. There is the sack by Jackson Smith.
Wow. What a huge stop, and that basically seals the game for Hill City. I mean, that's excellent defense. The Ringnecks are going to walk out of here on their home turf, taking down the undefeated dogs of the Trego Golden Eagles.
The sophomore Jackson Smith picks up his 3rd sack of the season, and he is getting the hometown Ringneck fans something to cheer about, as it's just a matter of formality now as Budig gets the call around the left side and gets knocked out of bounds. And I don't know if Coach Dabian likes that. It's like just stay in bounds, let the clock run.
Yeah, you just got to stay in bounds. That's, there's still 3 timeouts for both teams here. So I think there's 2 timeouts now for the Golden Eagles. They took one in the 3rd quarter, but
correct.
I mean, you got to stay in bounds, run it up the middle. 2nd down and 4 coming up.
Budig, nope, this is not Budig. This is Rohr, and Rohr, who was kind of limping around on the defensive side, doesn't really gain much there, and he's still. So instead of Second and 4. It's now 3rd and 6 is a loss of 2 by Roar, but we're down to a minute 45 left to go in the ball game.
I'm actually pretty surprised Haxton didn't take a timeout. You know, I know you're down 16, but you still got these two timeouts. I'd take one.
Oh, somebody did not miss the signal.
It worked out in the favor of Hill City.
I think that was the call anyway. Balthazar punches it in from 11 yards out, and that is now 58 points on the scoreboard for the Ringnecks, and Ringnecks are going to be hosting South Central next week.
Wow.
Here in Hill City. $58 points is the most that Trego has given up. The 2-point conversion is no good, but 58 points is the most that Trego's given up. Previous to that was Wichita County. They give up 46 in that game.
Yep, Hill City just playing excellent football today, and they dethroned the undefeated Golden Eagles tonight here in Hill City, and revenge sure is sweet if you're the Ringnecks. It all come from the first game of the year to Trego's final game of the year, and Hill City just put it all together in the time that it matters most in the sectionals of playoffs. What a game, what a game.
So penalties have been a big part of this game, but also the turnovers as well. Trego has 4 turnovers in the ballgame.
And that's the turnover battle.
Yep. We had talked about that as Trego came in with a plus 16.
And even if you look at the stats, the offensive yards, Trego still has more offensive yards at 363 compared to Hill City's 319. But those turnovers are what changed the entire complex of the game, 4-0. As Trego gave the ball away 4 times compared to Hill City's nothing, and that's the difference in this game. I feel like is the turnovers. One of them was even a return touchdown.
And it's a line drive kickoff. This is Aschenbrenner, takes it at the 5. Breaks the tackle, breaks it outside, cuts it back in, back out, and finally brought it out of bounds. But nice return of almost 30 yards on that for Aschenbrenner. And, well, with a minute 19 left to go, you're down by 22 points. And Coach Pat Haxton is Coach Pat Haxton is just we're playing for pride right now. Split right is Cass Smith, uncovered, but Budig comes out there to cover him. Here's a long pass, intercepted. Balthazar gets his pick, and that is officially going to end this ball game for Balthazar. That is his 9th interception of the season.
Actually, it's his 10th. That's his 2nd of the night.
He had one tonight. You are correct. You are correct.
Yep, he's double digits interceptions, and man, that's gonna seal the deal. I think they're gonna do victory formation, and Trego's gonna go home at the end of the season with 1 loss, and Hill City is gonna keep moving on with 1 loss, as they're gonna have to take on an undefeated South Central Timberwolves back here at their home field this Friday.
So the Hill City Ringneck fans are on their feet.
Well deserved too. I mean,
Hill City played a great game. We were a little concerned about them, their first 3 possessions, but they got it figured out quickly, and they have shut down the previously undefeated Trego Golden Eagles. Final score is 58-36. And there's still 30 seconds left on the clock, and I think they have probably 1 more play to run. But I don't think really anybody cares.
I think we're going to take it home. What a game. What a game for the Ringnecks.
So,
Hey, Hill City, another game here.
Hill City moves on to the sub-state round. They have one more game to win to make it to the state championship game. The Hill City Ringnecks with the big 58-36 win over the Trego Golden Eagles. We're going to take a timeout. We're going to get our stats all compiled here, and then we will bring you those stats, any updates that we have. By the way, latest score, we have 22-29, Hayes down with 4 minutes left to go in the ball game in Great Bend. But we will get you all the scores and stats that we can when we come back. You are watching Nex-Tech Game Time.
A special thanks to our Hill City Ringneck Game Time boosters, Weller's Tax and Accounting Service, Solutions North Bank of Hill City, and Grand County Recreation. These proud supporters stand behind the Hill City students and athletes. Go Fight Win from Keith Spraying Service, Elin Title Company, and Professional Fire Equipment, longtime booster of Nex-Tech Game Time. These sponsors are cheering on the Ringneck football team as they battle their way through the postseason. A special thanks to our Hill City Ringneck Game Time boosters, Hill City Pharmacy, Elliott Plumbing, Heating and Air Conditioning, and First State Bank. These proud supporters stand behind the Hill City students and athletes. Go Fight Win from Outdoor Bank of Hill City, Piper Service, Midwest Contractors, and Hair Studio Salon and Spa. Good luck, Ringneck football, as you battle your way through the postseason. A special thanks to our Trego Golden Eagle Game Time boosters, Waukeeny Ready Mix, Outdoor Bank of Waukeeny, Shiloh Vineyards, and Sheer Designs. These proud supporters stand behind the Waukeeny students and athletes. Go Fight Win from Solutions North Bank of Waukeeny, Day Motorsports, and Nutrient Ag Solutions of Waukeeny. They're rooting for the Trego Golden Eagles as they battle their way through the postseason. Good luck, Eagles! A special thanks to our Trego Golden Eagle Game Time boosters, Waukeeny Animal Hospital, Trego Recreation Commission, and Pathway Ag of Waukeeny. These proud supporters stand behind the Waukeeny students and athletes. Go Fight Win from Prairie Rose Inn and Rosie's Bar and Grill, First Federal Bank, a branch of Lions Federal Bank, and Professional Fire Equipment, longtime supporter of Nex-Tech Game Time. Good luck to the Eagles as you battle your way through the postseason.
Nex-Tech Wireless has been offering superior coverage to Kansans for close to 20 years. My, how things have changed. Bringing us to modern technology we trust and depend on. Rain or shine, wind or snow, we'll be there. Because we live here too. We're investing in our communities and connecting Kansans. It's not a gimmick, it's our guarantee.
No matter who you are, the Hayes Rec Commission is for you. There's leisure programs for all ages. There's a wellness center that works for anyone at any level. Youth and adult sports, aquatics, and great facilities for any event. Go to hayesrec.org to see the list of activities and sign up. Here are some of the upcoming activities.
We're still having fun. Hayes Rec's the one. We are still the one.
Here at Mapes & Miller, we take care of your finances, allowing you time to take care of your business, farm, and personal lives. We offer financial services, including tax prep, bookkeeping, payroll, and auditing. We offer services to farmers, ranchers, small businesses, and more. By coming to us, you will be able to spend more time at your business and with your families. It's not what you make, it's what you keep.
Suicide is the second leading cause of death for kids. That's why I rely on Bark. Built by parents, for parents. Bark's award-winning dashboard monitors text messages, emails, and over 30 different apps and platforms for potential safety concerns. Hey, can we talk? Okay.
Across Northwest Kansas, families rely on more than just good neighbors. They count on trusted care. At Phillips County Health Systems, we serve our communities with one mission: patient-centered excellence. From emergency services to specialty care, we provide comprehensive, high-quality health care focused on you. Phillips County Health Systems, caring for our region, centered on you.
Ready to step into comfort again? At High Plains Podiatry, Dr. Robert Hins has over 20 years of experience helping families across southwest Nebraska and northwest Kansas stay on their feet. From heel pain to sports injuries to diabetic care and surgery, we're here to restore your stride. Don't live with foot pain. Call High Plains Podiatry today at 308-345-3773 to schedule your appointment. A special thanks to our Hill City Ringneck Game Time Boosters, Hill City Pharmacy, Elliott Plumbing, Heating and Air Conditioning, and First State Bank. These proud supporters stand behind the Hill City students and athletes. Go Fight Win from Outdoor Bank of Hill City, Piper Service, Midwest Contractors, and Hair Studio Salon and Spa. Good luck, Ringneck football, as you battle your way through the postseason.
Final here in Hill City, the Ringneck.
A special thanks to
with the commanding 58-36 win over the previously undefeated Trego Golden Eagles. And let's talk about Tate. Let's go over some stats. I'll look up some scores, and then I'd like to talk about what we, all three of us here up here in the press box, feel that the play of the game, where the game just turned on a dime.
Yep, let's go through some stats first, and we'll get into that, of course. As for the final, once again, it was a 58-36 win over Hill City. As statistically, I think Trego played the more offensive game, and if you looked at the stats, you would think Trego would have won this game, but we'll talk about why it was a Hill City victory here in just a little bit. So Hill City had 8 first downs, 55 rushing attempts for 260 total yards, for 6 rushing touchdowns. They went 55 for 273 yards. They had 5 yards of rush, 6 rushing touchdowns as well. They went 50% through the air, 4 completions out of the 8 attempts for 46 total yards and a passing touchdown. They had 319 total offensive yards, and they averaged 5.1 yards a play. Only 1 offensive penalty for 5 yards, and only 1 defensive penalty for 5 yards. And that is a big reason why they come out on top, and we'll talk about it here in just a sec. So only 2 penalties for a total of 10 yards. They had 13 third down attempts, completing just under half of them at 46%. They went 2 for 6 on 4th downs as well. On Trego's side, they had 11 first downs, 40 rushing attempts for 227 rushing yards, and 5.5 rushing yards a rush, 4 rushing touchdowns. They had 13 completions on 24 attempts for 136 yards and a touchdown. Ashton Wynn had 2 interceptions thrown tonight on 64 total plays for 363 total yards. They also had 5, this is where we were kind of talking about kind of the difference in the game, 5 offensive penalties for 30 yards and 5 defensive penalties for 25. So that's 10-2 in the flag ratio on both ends. They had 11 third down attempts, only went 36% from there, and 2 fourth down conversions on attempted 7 times, and that's 29%. So let's go through individual stats so let's start off with Hill City. Ryan Budig had 15 rushing attempts for 64 yards. Tate Balthazar, the quarterback, 16 rushes for 142 yards. He had 5 rushing touchdowns tonight. He also threw 4 for 7 for 46 yards and a passing touchdown and had 2 interceptions on tonight's game. We'll probably have to give the player of the game to Tate. As Tyler Ashball, 14 rushes for 42 rushing yards. Slade Rohr, 7 attempts for 14 rushing yards, also catching 3 passes for 32 yards. Jackson Smith, 2 rushing attempts for 11 yards and a rushing touchdown, and he also had a receiving touchdown on 1 reception for 14 yards. He also had 2 sacks on defense, and Kobe Keysweater had a sack on defense as well. We'll move over to the Trego Community Golden Eagles individual stats. Flayden Crawford, 5 receptions for 34 yards and a receiving touchdown. Aaron Sampson, 3 receptions for 30 yards. Ashton Wynn, 10 rushing attempts for 68 yards, and he went 13 for 24 through the air for 136 yards, 1 passing touchdown, and he threw 2 interceptions. Cass Smith, 2 receptions for 14 yards. Weston Winholtz, 1 reception for 7 yards. Jared Aschenbrenner, 1 reception for 38 yards, also had a sack on defense. And then Jack Connis, 28 rushes for 159 yards, leading the team for 4 rushing touchdowns, and then also had a reception for 13 yards and a sack on defense. So that is your stats for both sides, but we were going to talk about, what the difference was. On stats, you would think that, Trego probably won this game if you didn't see the score, but, this comes down to the turnover battle. 5 turnovers to Trego, and then Hill City had 0, and then also 10-2 in that flag ratio. Trego 10 flags, Hill City 2 flags. So I personally think that's the difference in this ball game, Steve.
Absolutely. And so let's talk about our play of the game tonight. Hill City, their first 2 possessions were 3 and out. And I don't recall what happened in their third possession, but it looked like they were all out of sorts, and they were running no huddle offensive plays, and it just seemed like they just couldn't get things together. Then, after the third punt, things just changed on a dime, and we've got that replay queued up here. Ashton Wynn gets sacked and picking up the ball and running for the touchdown was Aiden Hall. That was, a 63-yard touchdown run on that fumble recovery. That's when Hill City, things changed on a dime, and Hill City just controlled the game from there. At one point, Trego got within 2 points.
In the third quarter.
Yeah. Yep. So,
3 unanswered touchdowns.
If we can look at real quick. So, in the first half, Hill City outscored Trego 30-20. That was the score, ironic, and we talked about the irony of that score. But in the second half, Hill City outscored Trego 28-16.
Yep. That's the difference there. It's just offensive dominance by Hill City, and they played excellent defense against a star-studded offense of the Golden Eagles tonight. So
absolutely. Let me just run some scores by you real quick. I believe 29. I've got a coworker that's at the Grape Bend Hayes game, and I believe that's a final now. 29-22, I believe, is the final score in Grape Bend. So Hayes, the Hayes High Indians, their season is over with. Other scores: Smith Center beat Moundridge tonight, 22-14. Salina Central over Salina South, 49-24. Victoria victorious over Central Christian, 36-22. Of course, score here in Hill City, 58-36. Hill City with the win, and those are the scores that we have at this point. So, Tate, I believe we may be back in Hill City next week, and Hill City gets to host their 5th consecutive home game.
Yep, it's
good to be king.
It is, and we'll be, as far as we know, we probably will be back here Friday night, and that will be another game to grab your popcorn for, because I have a feeling that one's going to be maybe better than this one, I would think. It's another undefeated team against Hill City, so we'll see what
South
they can do.
Central comes to town next week, and can Hill City knock off 2 undefeated opponents 2 weeks in a row? We'll find out next week. Well, I want to thank our statistician, Brendan Stoltz, did a great job tonight. Tate, good job tonight. I appreciate your help.
As always.
And, of course, Jason in the van, who makes everything run. Final score, 58-36. Ringnex move on, and the Golden Eagle season comes to an end tonight here in Hill City. We appreciate you joining us tonight on Game Time, on Nex-Tech Game Time. We will see you next week as South Central comes to Hill City to take on the Ringnex. Until then, have a great night, everybody. You've been watching Nex-Tech Game Time. Good night, everybody.